FA Cup action returns to the commentary of, and we're bringing you alternative remote commentary of Middlesbrough against Tottenham. I'm your presenter, Russell, and we've got two brilliant commentators standing by to talk you through the action. We'll be crossing to them very, very shortly. Welcome along to Colin coverage lane of Middlesbrough against Tottenham as we look towards yet another round of FA Cup fixtures. We're already two games in action this evening. We'll have delayed coverage of Peterborough against Manchester City with JB later on this week. He's just really doing the coverage for us as we speak. It's still 0-0 in that game. We've also got another game which is taking place at Selhurst Park this evening, and it's Crystal Palace 0, Stoke City 0 is the latest score there. On 19 minutes we'll be keeping you across those with updates as the evening progresses. There's also some league action in the Championship League and League One, and a few other games happening this evening which will keep you across the action with at half time. Also action in the Premier League where after 5 minutes is still Burnley 0, Leicester City 0. Also we've got one game in the Championship which is Cardiff 0, Derby 0 after 5 minutes. After 4 minutes in Sky Bet League 1 there's been a goal at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 0, Oxford 1. Marcus Brown scored on 3 minutes. We'll be getting ready for kick-off in our featured game, which is Middlesbrough against Tottenham in the FA Cup, and we'll go across to Trevor and Chris shortly. But we'll go across to Chris now. In fact, it's a very good evening to you, Chris. Look, should be a good game this evening. Obviously, Middlesbrough knocked out Manchester United in the last round, and one of the goal scorers in that game for Middlesbrough, which took it all the way to penalties, Matt Brooks, starts again tonight. I bet he'll be looking forward to getting yet another goal and causing yet another, helping Middlesbrough cause yet another shot when they take on Tottenham this evening.
Indeed, good evening everyone. Yes, it's certainly an exciting prospect tonight. Obviously Middlesbrough have absolutely no fear about facing Premier League teams now. They've been to Old Trafford and got a result there to get them to this point. And they're going up against the Tottenham Hotspur side, who are the definition of inconsistent, who 1 week they are beating Manchester City, who are in action tonight against Peterborough, but it was two completely different halves, that match really. But and tonight, and then obviously beforehand they lost to Burnley, so it's a bit of a inconsistent Tottenham side. So Middlesbrough will be well up for it, and as you say, Crooks had the goal scoring touch previously, and I dare say he'll be up for it again tonight, as we're just seeing a few players emerge in the tunnel. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. Obviously Middlesbrough at home, the Riverside is going to be packed to the rafters, and it is the FA Cup, and as we've seen in this tournament, you've got teams like Boreham Wood. Shocks are here, there and everywhere, so expect the unexpected tonight.
Yes, and also Chris, just before we get ready for the match, and of course to Trevor and yourself this evening, if I were to ask you for a score prediction in this game, obviously I know that our good friend and fellow commentator Trevor was saying earlier that it could potentially be 4-4 and extra time. That's what he always says for all of the matches. What are you saying for a score prediction tonight? Do you reckon it'll be 4-4 like Trevor?
I mean, I reckon there's goals in this game, to be honest. I would say there's going to be at least 3, potentially 4, not for one side, but I could definitely see this going the distance into penalties. So a 2-1 or a 2-2 going all the way to extra time and penalties wouldn't be a surprise. In terms of, obviously all the pressure's on Spurs. They're the Premier League side. They've been, as I said, a bit misfiring in form. But yeah, it's going to be tough. But plenty of goals in this game as the teams are being shown up now. So I dare say you want to hand over to Trevor for all those details.
Yes, and that's what we're going to do right now, in fact, Chris, as well. And we're going to hand over to your match commentary team of Chris Wyman. And first, Trevor's thoughts.
The Riverside today is all set for a game which could see the FA Cup magic return. One side that is greatly inconsistent but definitely moving around better, against another team which is under inconsistent improvement. It's a game of oxymorons, but here today one thing is for certain: one of these sides will be pressing through the 6th round of the FA Cup. Middlesbrough today are led by Johnny Houghton, and he packs a midfield which joins it by Matt Crooks and Marcus Tavernier. Isaac Jones, that showed such promise at Old Trafford as Middlesbrough beat Manchester United, is at one flank, with Welshman Neil Taylor on the other flank. Sitting in the central defensive partnership is Anna Fermic Dijkstra, Dale Fry and the former Manchester United player Paddy McNair in a back three. In the centre forward position today for Middlesbrough, Duncan Watmore and Andres Sporazor. So there should be a good linking partnership to line up. And of course, in goal for Middlesbrough today is Joe Lumley, that will hope to be that this evening for him is absolutely fabulous. Currently at the Riverside, there is a round of applause going around for the appalling atrocities currently taking place in the Ukraine. And whilst football and the game must go on, there is an element of us thinking about the horrible things that the Ukrainian people are going through. And absolutely, we here on all the commentary hub and everybody here really does hope that they get through this and do everything they can. It is an appalling situation, and it is magnificently reserved, with every person to a man on their feet applauding and doing everything they can to show their respects and support to the Ukrainian people. And with that, the referee stand set today. His name is Darren England. He's got Simon Bennett and Wade Smith as his assistants, and Craig Pawson is the fourth official today. I will go through the Tottenham team for you very shortly, but we are waiting for the whistle, and we get set for the whistle, and then we expect the players to, as always, take a knee. Show us that gesture of them that absolutely there is no room for racism in our beautiful game. And then from that point, as the players do indeed take the knee now, and some players have chosen to also stand and applaud at the same time. Either way, there is respect being shown for the gesture, and we are all set and underway. For those of you that are tuning in, please go ahead and go get your TV on, go drop the commentary down, and then while you're doing it, come and join us, because we will be taking you through the game as an alternative source with it. My name's Trevor Sports. Very nice to meet you. Alongside me today is Chris Whiteman, and Chris, would love to know where you think this game is going to be won and lost today.
Well, good evening, Trevor. It's a fascinating game. Obviously, we were discussing pre-match that the styles of Antonio Conte and Chris Wilder are really going to be quite the clash. Interestingly, that Tottenham have gone for matching Middlesbrough's formation. So it's going to be a very intriguing battle in the midfield, and obviously the overload scenarios with wing backs involved I think is going to be the key for this game. But it's a fascinating encounter of two very different tactical minds going at it, and it's all to play for.
Well, you've got 8th in the Championship versus 7th in the Premier League, and Eric Dyer with an early pass out all the way across. Now an early opportunity for Christian Romero, number 4, casually plays it across, and very casually plays it across at the moment, but it was very nearly intercepted, but got away with it. Here's Harry Winks for Tottenham Hotspur, playing a ball through the middle, run being made by Heung-Min Sing-Mong. There goes Kane, touch on his chest, it's just intercepted. Marcus Tavernier, now Marcus Tavernier for Middlesbrough, brings it away, pass out wide, and now it comes to Isaac Jones, who has shown great affinity for running, caused so much problems against Manchester United at Old Trafford in the previous round, where you remember Middlesbrough were victorious on penalties. Just quickly, allow me to go through, we'll wait for a break in play to do this. Is Son at the moment. Now it's an opportunity on the left for Ryan Sessegnon. He's going at the moment and taking on Isaiah Jones, and can get the cross in. Referee has signalled a corner, and it's a good a trying to bring in the Spurs team today. In goal for them is Hugo Lloris. They've got a back four of Christian Romero, Eric Dyer and Ben Davis. A midfield 5 from Matt Doherty playing in a wing-back role. Harry Winks, Pierre-Emile Holberg and Ryan Sessegnon sitting in the midfield, with Dejan Kulievski, Heung-Min Son operating in the midfield, and an early cross that comes in, which is cleared away. Harry Kane, of course, starting in the forward position. This is a chance for Doherty. Early pass to Holberg, who's out on this near side, right on the touchline, looking to go and chase the ball into the area, and his cross was able to get past Johnny Houghton, the Middlesbrough captain today. Now it's back with Son, who's in the area, want to try and get it inside onto that right foot. Lovely step over, cross across goal, but it's cleared away, And Eric Dyer is pushed forward, but he's been pushed off at the moment by Matt Crooks, who bursts forwards. And now Middlesbrough are coming forward at pace at the moment. Crooks' ball over the top. It's cut out in the end by Dirty as he was looking for Andres Sporar, who was just sitting over in the inside channel position. Christian Romero for Spurs at the moment. Early pass to Kulieski. Sorry, Matt Doherty, my apologies. And the ball is cleared back, and it's back to Joe Lumley with an early touch for he inside the goal today. And it's a game which many people predicted, not necessarily in terms of the talent which is available, but it could produce the shock today, because Spurs' inconsistency from beating Manchester City, no disrespect to Burnley, but to getting beat by a side which is fighting for the relegation, just shows you the problem that Spurs have had in recent times. And you'd think here today for Spurs, this is their realistic opportunity of winning a trophy this season, Chris.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the FA Cup should be the main target of any team not realistically contending for the Premier League, let's be honest. It's kind of the second option. I mean, it used to be the first for everyone, but the way football has changed in modern times, some people devalue the FA Cup, some teams do, certainly the bigger ones, but for these two, this is very much cream of the crop, this one. It's the best competition to be in. It's the oldest cup competition in the world, of course, and Tottenham have a rich history in it, and Middlesbrough, of course, have finished runners-up once, but they've had a good season so far, and with Chris Wilder's particular style, the gun-ho kind of approach that he brings to teams, it's been refreshing to watch. And the Championship is a difficult division, so don't let 8th place devalue how good a side this is, because Middlesbrough, they know how to play, and they're certainly, I certainly feel like they will give Tottenham a real run for their money today.
And indeed, and obviously securing a playoff spot, you feel, would be Middlesbrough's ambition this season. The Spurs at the moment currently sitting in 7th. It's European football, but not as they want it. As Paddy McNair sprays the ball across field, it's cut out in the end by Ryan Sessegnon. Now here's Harry Winks, low ball into the middle to Kulieski, but he's knocked off the field at the moment. This is Marcus Taverner now. Now an opportunity outright to Sporar. His cross into the box is cleared away by Eric Dyer, was able to clear it away at his feet. Clever headed back down to Neil Taylor on the near side, the Welshman. Now it's an inside ball to Johnny Howson, Middlesbrough captain. Clever pass, and a Fermi Dijkstul's able to run forward, is continuing his run forward. Here is Jones under pressure from Sessegnon. And Middlesbrough, when they have the ball, look very comfortable at the moment and look like they're quite capable of moving the ball around quite easily. As Dale Fry brings swing forward, he's put a halt just right by the central circle spot. Here's Paddy McNair into Neil Taylor. And McNair again, and there's very much game plan with whenever Spurs are defending, they're sitting in their own half and they're refusing to run forwards. And at the moment, Middlesbrough seem to be passing the ball just across goal at the moment. Little ball inside to Matt Crooks, and back to a side. Jones. Crooks again. He was looking for the pass inside to Duncan Watmore, but it's not fallen off. And now let's give Spurs an opportunity to break. And Kulieski was just shown short, and that was great running back there by Niall Taylor at left back. Excellent job by the Welshman. It's always got a famous moment to him. He was a scorer in their Euro 2016 campaign. Always be a special moment for him for that, when they were playing in the group stages. Now here's
a little note on the other match in the FA Cup going on tonight with Peterborough and Manchester City. It's just gone to half time. It's 0-0 there currently, so Peterborough holding Manchester City.
Well, that would be a result and a half, and obviously at the moment Manchester City hoping to go for the treble. They're of course still one side at the moment that is on for every single trophy you can win this season, and that's Liverpool. They've hit the first trophy, they've got the League Cup in a brilliant game on Sunday, and we hope you tuned in and watched it with us here on the Commentary Hub, because it was an excellent game, perhaps one of the best 0-0s we're likely to ever see. And yes, for some
I must say that Palace and Stoke are also playing in the FA Cup. I haven't forgotten about them.
Well, we will have our man keeping pill to the scores. Mr. Chris Whiteman here will keep us updated on all the scores today, and will let us know exactly when they come in. But at the moment here, the game's just settling down. Spurs look to be set to defend, and Middlesbrough look to try and find and pass their way through. So it's led to a very compact midfield here at the moment in the opening sort of 7.5 minutes, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a feeling out period. Let's be honest. They're just kind of getting into their stride. Middlesbrough very much preventing Harry Kane get many touches on the ball, which would have been the game plan from the get-go, as Sessegnon using his electric pace to get in here.
And here is Sessegnon showing us what he can do. Away from Jones, it's Sessegnon looking to pass the ball across. It's cut out brilliantly by Dale Fry. But Ryan Sessegnon here showing us a real bit of danger for the Middlesbrough backline, showing us that pace he's got available. And this was a good run by Davis and a good bit of pace shown by the winger.
Yeah, it was excellent. He's sort of gone under the radar since he moved from Fulham to Tottenham. They take the set piece quickly.
Here is Harry Winks. Now it's back to Son at the moment. He's up again at the moment against Sporazar. Back across the edge of the area and it's cut out, and Winks is trying to turn. He's done quite well, to be fair. Here is Holberg. Kane has run inside to the inside right position, but the ball has gone back to Spurs to Doherty. Now it's in their own half with Sessegnon that started this by running from pretty much the same spot, just left of the centre circle. Here is Hugo Lloris, passes it back to Matt Doherty. Then the reminder here, you're listening to unofficial FA Cup coverage exclusively here on the TC Hub. Thank you very much, all of you that are joining in. If you do want to comment, please do so. We'd love to know your thoughts on the game. Love to know where your predictions and where you believe this match will be won and lost today. One man that definitely does live by his swords, Antonio Conte. Some have said potentially here that does he regret the move to Spurs? With Tottenham Hotspur's inconsistency, you wonder potentially if that's going to be the case. Here's Ben Davis into Harry Winks at the moment, and Son just unable to get full control of the ball, but Harry Kane now back into his own half to try and win the ball back for Tottenham Hotspur. Son goes across here, low ball to Matt Doherty at the moment, and Kane and Son are looking to run in, and Kulieski is also looking to offer support. Here he is now, number 21, pass inside, Pierre-Emile Holberg. It's a little pass. Winks lets it go quickly. Ben Davis with the opportunity to run. Heavy touch though. Just showed a little bit too much there to Dystal. Now this is Sessegnon. And now it is back to Kane. Lovely little dummy by Harry Kane. Pass out wide to Doherty. There was a pass on for a second. There's the cross. Back across the far end of goal towards Sessegnon. The offside flag has been raised at the moment. But Spurs there just showing a little bit of danger. They're starting to find little pockets of space out on the wings.
Well, there's the danger of a back three. Very easy to get stretched. You have to rely on the wing backs to actually be back and track back. And Spurs certainly looking to exploit the narrow back three, but Middlesbrough just about holding on. And the offside flag, getting them out of jail there.
Well, interesting to know here that at the moment, in terms of Spurs winning ratio, you look at the impact of Antonio Conte. They've gone from winning 47% of the games to 52%. But for Spurs, that's not going to matter if they lay their hands on this trophy at the end of the season. A place in the 6th round. The quarter-finals are available for the winner tonight. And we must have a winner. If this is level after 90 minutes, we will go to extra time. And if required, a penalty competition could settle this contest. This is Cristiano Romero pushing forward from centre-back, deep at the moment, inside the Middlesbrough penalty area. But there's no options for Matt Doherty. He's forced to play it back to Eric Dyer. It's halfway inside his own half. Now it's Cristiano Romero again. Lovely lackadaisical wayward pass that works. He does make things look very easy at the moment. Son always makes things look very busy at the moment. Winks' pass is asking a lot of Sessegnon, but he does well to control it. The Spurs still have possession, and they have started to look a little more comfortable on the ball after the first 7-8 minutes or so, which Middlesbrough have more of the ball. Heavy touch by Kulieski, but does well to recover it. Now it's Doherty. Now it's an opportunity for Holberg. And his little pass is covered inside to Winks. Casually back to Dyer again, allowing Spurs to build again. At the moment, Sessegnon has got acres of space at the moment out on the far side, but Dyer was asking a lot for his passing ability to find him from that range, one senses. And Kane has been caught out. The ball was knocked back nice and easily. Throw in which Ben Davis will take. 12 minutes gone at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Spurs with 20% more possession. So Spurs very much more comfortable on the ball. That's been shown recently. But Middlesbrough with a slightly more willingness to push forward. And at the moment, these sides teams are countering each other out. Which does make you think at the moment, are we going to go the distance this evening?
Well, based on the first 12 minutes, there hasn't been a shot yet, I don't think, has there? So it's still a filling out period. I dare say after, I would expect around the 20-minute mark for teams to start being a bit more adventurous, as Spurs very much letting the ball do the work here. they're just trying to think all over the top. Goalkeeper's come flying out. Hope he gets back on his line quickly.
Well, the kick, thankfully, has been knocked in, and hopefully he's been able to do so, because Holberg was well chased, and that was good work being made there by Marcus Taverneau, who put Holberg under pressure in that situation and probably allowed his goalkeeper to get back onto his line. So sometimes it shows you defending can come from inside your own half, and just how important that can be. Ben Davis with the little pass inside to Dyer, who's spraying passes around almost like a quarter pack, dare we say, in that position. But at the moment, every time they do, there's pressure arising from that Middlesbrough front line. Marcus Taverneau and Andres Sporar pushing forward at every opportunity, definitely not allowing Spurs to get comfortable on the ball today. This is Dyer, and that's a casual lead pass back Holberg, who's instantly under pressure from Johnny Housen, and it's forcing Hugo Lloris to kick the ball long at the moment, looking for Kane. And there looks to be a clash of heads at the moment, and down in the area is Dale Fry. It looked like he was hit rather hard by his own flamer, Jykestall, who's also holding his head, the man with the cast on his left hand. So take a look at this, and hopefully this is a complete accidental sort of contact. But I tell you what, from experience, that's rather painful, especially on a cold March evening.
The concussion specialist will be out there straight away. That kind of, it doesn't look too much at first glance, but that kind of clash of heads can really cause issues. And as you can see, they're already straight in with the whole checking his eyesight and everything to make sure. A lot of debate about temporary concussion substitutions. That's very much been a hot topic recently, and I would be inclined to agree with the idea of having at least a temporary substitute for head collisions, just purely for the safety of players. We saw in the Africa Cup of Nations with Mane, didn't we? I think it was Mane had concussion, scored a goal, and then was taken off afterwards, I believe, something along those lines. But that kind of incident shouldn't be happening.
So there is Steve Gibson, the Middlesbrough chairman, watching this game, and I suppose, Chris, what you're looking for is something a little bit like the blood replacement that we get in rugby at the moment. So the player is cut, and a blood replacement player can come on until that person's healed up.
Yeah, exactly. It makes total sense. It's perfectly demonstrated in rugby. Rugby seems to do a lot of things correctly, which football somehow finds it difficult to get along with. Name a few things, the video technology being one of them, the respect for the referees being another. So football certainly could learn a lot of lessons from rugby if they weren't so stubborn.
There we go. Well, one thing it is good to point out as play gets back underway at the moment is to see the response football and the governing bodies have made towards the appalling atrocities taking place in the Ukraine at the moment. And it's been announced today that obviously Russia will be suspended from FIFA, and all their Russian teams will be removed from UEFA competitions for the foreseeable future. So it's the right move for football to make, if it was slightly sort of delayed in doing so. But here today, we're here to talk about the football, although it is difficult when you've got your minds to elsewhere. But hopefully today, these two can get going and give us a good game. And at the moment, this is a game which is looking set at the moment to potentially go to distance. Middlesbrough defending and causing problems, but now they've got a set piece. Isaac Jones take it quickly all the way back towards Dale Fry now. Paddy McNair. And there's a definite chance that whenever Spurs have got the ball at the back, Middlesbrough are pressing, but whenever Middlesbrough have got the ball, Tottenham Hotspur are not pressing until they enter the half. So you're seeing a lot of touches from Jykestall, from Fry, from Paddy McNair. They're always quite comfortable to have the ball and move it around, but not yet able to really make a huge difference. There goes pressure from Kulieski. Paddy McNair has got two options, and Cooley plays it across to Dale Fry, who's all okay after that collision with Jykestall, and that's excellent to see. Now here's Jykestall. Will pass inside, and Middlesbrough just looking to try and find that opening at the moment, but you can see Middlesbrough just struggling to find their way through this Spurs backline, which is now just starting to press a bit more as the game goes on. It's Crooks, who was under a bit of pressure, has lost the ball. Now it is Son into Holberg, and now there's a chance for Kulieski. Holberg again, Kane running inside at the moment and finding a bit of room up against Fry. Now it's Harry Kane. Casual pass back there, but good defending made, really good defending made at the moment by Dale Fry, and it was Johnny Housen in fact that came in and that eventually won the ball, and that was good work by Middlesbrough for the first time. Just started to note the Spurs have found a little bit too much room in their back line.
Yeah, it's clever play from Howson, captain, obviously knowing how to win a free kick and just take the sting out of that whole scenario. So smart play by the captain.
Joe Lumley getting set to kick the ball forward, and he seems to have signalled that this is going long. Deep breath and a hunch of the shoulders and kicks it. Flies long down the left-hand side, and it's eventually knocked out, sadly, there by Andres Spora. Has gone away. There's a shot for those watching on television of Andres Spora, and we know what he can do from his time at Sporting Lisbon. Here is Doherty to throw the ball, the Republic of Ireland international. Number 2, right back, and throw. Flick on at the moment for Kane. Now here's Holberg, and run being made through the middle just by Son for half a second, but Holberg wasn't able to find him. Now it's Sessegnon. Opportunity to run, moving from West London to North London. Yet to really show what he can do under the intense competition of likes of Lucas Moore and Steven Bergwijn. And last season, of course, Gareth Bale on his return. And that was an interesting attempt by Holberg to look, but it was cut out. Now here's Ben Davis. Holberg again. Cristiano Romero is also sitting deep. There is Son, little touch. It's a wrong pass in the end. Because Drykestall and Isaiah Jones is getting there, and Isaiah Jones has continued to run up against Ben Davis. Ben Davis is brought down. Referee signals foul. Bit of frustration. But already this game at the moment, if you are joining in, as we look for opportunity, clear-cut chances slightly lacking. And it's just starting to look like things might just open up as both teams start to tie. Just a couple of mistakes creeping through at the moment.
Yeah, well, Jones just pounced on Tottenham hesitating with any kind of decision-making then, and nearly forced a chance out of it. But Ben Davis with some clever play to win a free kick there. There's a long ball forward as the goalkeeper deals with it nicely, Joe Lumley. But yeah, just a couple of small mistakes from Spurs there. They just need to be switched on for a fixture like this, because Middlesbrough are a dangerous side.
Howson. Ball at the moment wasn't controlled brilliantly, but is done by Crooks. That's a clever little ball out wide at the moment to Spora. Duncan Watmore is in the area. That was who the cross was looking for. Harry Winks read it, clears it left-footed over onto the far side, throw to Middlesbrough available. First time today, Crooks was able to spray a pass into a dangerous position, just didn't quite come off at the moment. Here is Del Fry. Now this is Paddy McNair. Support is being offered on the near side from Marcus Taverner, number 7. Here he is now. There's Taverner, and that pass was held short to Niall Taylor. Now it's an opportunity for Spurs to come onto the break. Holberg is looking forward, and there goes Taverner again. Yet again today, running back from deep and doing a brilliant job. Now here's Taylor. He's got pressure from Kulievski. Doesn't need him. Now here's Watmore. That's a heavy touch, and as a result, Spurs have gained possession back. Passes inside, right on the line to Doherty. Tries to play it all the way across goal, and there has to be a run from Ben Davis made to control it, and does. Now it's Kane. You know, when Harry Kane's starting to look for the ball in the middle of the park, he's struggling to see it, but it may just break here to Doherty, which it does. Only Son in the area at the moment. Doherty plays a low ball across the area. It finds Ben Davis. Sessegnon wanted it, but Ben Davis has been pushed back. Now Spurs looking to try and restart their attack again, but Middlesbrough have their bank of 10 and 11 players sitting right behind the ball. And Spurs again have to try and find that gap. And you sense today, this game, if they're going to be goals, it's going to be played on the break, because from both teams moving the ball, they seem to be very comfortable when they have possession. Long ball looking for Sessegnon. His header across was looking for Kane, but the flag has gone up, and as a result of having 2 assistants and no VAR, the flags are moving much quicker today.
Well, yeah, that's no second guessing the linesman this time. It's literally his decision, and that's it. That's final, which is, quite frankly, how it should be. Right or wrong, that's the call they've made. You stick with it and you run with it.
And I suppose it's going to help the players get a better flow for the game, because they'll understand when the flags are coming, and there won't be that sort of stop-start you sometimes get with the VAR flag going up at the last minute at the end of the phase of play.
Yeah, we saw with there was a John Joe Shelby goal, which has been shown multiple times for that sort of thing. He knew that the decision was incorrect, so he carried on. Everyone else stopped. VAR looked at it after he scored, and they ruled it was fine. He got the goal awarded. So yeah, it's much simpler this way around. There's no confusion. You know what the rules are and who applies them, and that's how it's going to be.
Middlesbrough currently with possession at the moment, in the Spurs third at the moment. Now Paddy McNair bringing it back deep inside his half. He's got support from Marcus Taverner out on the near side. Taverner bringing the ball inside. Housen wanting it. Taverner going all the way across the Dykestool that you will recognise because he's got that net for his taped up at the moment. Isaac Jones just tried to backheel it into Matt Crooks. Very unlucky, but a good little bit of football there from Middlesbrough. They're just starting to find their feet after probably surviving the last 12-13 minutes of pressure. And as a result of their play, Chris Wilder is up on the touchline. The man that have got Middlesbrough from winning a third of their games to half their games has made a massive impact. And now a throw for Middlesbrough in the final third. Almost, if you were envisioning this on your 22 line, if this was a game of rugby. Crooks. Isaac Jones is unable to control it, and after all of that, Ryan Sessegnon will throw the ball probably about 10 metres outside from the goal line, right inside the Spurs half. It's 0-0 here. We've played 23.5 minutes on the commentary hub. You're listening to live and exclusive unofficial commentary of the FA Cup. Watmore, clever little pass that was. Dykestool. Housen, under pressure from Winks, but doing really well, realising Kane was also involved. Del Fry back to Paddy McNair. There definitely seems to be at the moment when Middlesbrough are moving forwards. One of their back three will move into an attacking role. At the moment, that the attacking role is accompanied there by Anfermac Dykestool, who's continuing to move forwards. Crooks. As I see it, Jones, that's not given the space to run that he was against Manchester United at the moment. This is a clever little run at the moment being made by McNair. Now he's choosing to run. So Middlesbrough committing bodies forward at the moment. Is Taverner looking to go on and go all the way? And in the end, it's cut out. Watmore putting the pressure on Spurs and come home. Gliewski, his pass is held short and it's cut out at the moment by Crooks. Now it's Niall Taylor for Middlesbrough, and that's just raised the noise level a little bit inside the Riverside. They think there could be something quite special available potentially here. Passes inside. This is Fry looking for Jones up against Sessegnon. Sonner's already across to offer a 2v1 support. Dykestool to Housen for Middlesbrough. Back again, and the same pattern continues. Trying to find a room in a really built-up area, and it's brought Duncan Watmore forward, but Leesey's got a ball in the air, and he looks to play a ball into the middle. Sporar, the effort is blocked. So that's the first real shot and anger we've seen in this contest at the moment. It's come halfway through the first half. Maybe that's a sign of the game ramping up and getting a little more exciting as we go on. It's been fascinating tactically. Could it get a little bit better? This Johnston just loses the ball on the edge of the area. Kane, little pass to Gliewski, trying to run forward. Referee plays the advantage, and a good advantage to play because Doherty's running forward, but it's just Kane and Son at the moment in the half. The 6, 7, 8 Middlesbrough players also come involved. Harry Winks, it needed to be played quickly and it wasn't, and as a result, Middlesbrough are back and have 11 players behind the ball with just Eric Dyer in the Spurs half. And at the moment here, when Spurs do find the chance to break, they perhaps got to move quicker, and Paddy McNair needs to win that and does. He's under pressure from Gliewski. His clearance isn't great because it bounced off Harry Kane, but it goes out for a throw-in. And a lot's been made of Harry Kane about how he struggled this season, Chris. Do you still see him as England's main centre-forward for the World Cup later on this year?
Well, Harry Kane that's on form is the first name on the team sheet for England. But as you can see, his record there, 13 goals and 12 appearances in the FA Cup. Is, you know, its record speaks for itself, but always said you've got to pick on form. This is a chance, maybe.
This is Gliewski, and still Gliewski. Good challenge made in the back by Del Fry. Referee unmoved. That was excellent work. Gliewski found himself through. The assistants unmoved in that situation. It looked to be a very clean challenge, and there was also no complaints from anybody in a white shirt. So that just shows you something about how they saw that challenge taking place. Jones at the moment to Crooks for Middlesbrough. Plays the ball across looking for Taverner. It's found Niall Taylor. Doherty gets across. Now it's Marcus Taverner for Middlesbrough. Passes inside and goes back to Paddy McNair. And just for a moment there, we thought things were just going to get a little bit exciting. Don't worry. I'm absolutely certain there's 8 more goals in this contest, even if that's what we're going to see in the penalty competition. Here's Taverner, left-footed, all the way across goal. Dykestool over on the far side. Now Isaiah Jones. Ryan Sessegnon across to Mark. Now Heung-min Son there to Mark Dykestool. Fry. Now this is Paddy McNair from Middlesbrough. Little pass looking for Watmore. We tried to lay it into a clever position with Taverner, but in the end, ball was far too high in the air. There is Crooks. Jones. Taverner. Floating everywhere. Geistel. Now here is Paddy McNair. Johnny Housen wants it and has got it. Run being made for the middle by Duncan Watmore, but in the end, unable to control it, and it's hit dirty. And it was bouncing horribly in front of Hugo Lloris. That's been able to clear it. There wins the header. There's a header back in by Winks for Tottenham Hotspur. Taverner, Taylor, and the fans are just starting to jump up at the moment for Middlesbrough. There goes Taylor, flag stays down, Watmore. Now it's to Taverner again. All red of Middlesbrough against the white shirt and navy blue shorts and socks on the Spurs sides. There goes Fry all the way across, looking inside Taylor. Crooks makes the overlapping run. Taylor decides to run, and he does, and in the end, it took the defensive effort there of Kulieski to dispossess him. Good feet by Kulieski. A clever ball for the middle. Flag goes up at the moment. It's chance for Son. Flag has stayed down. Son has got the ball. Brilliant defending by Dijsdal. Now it's Sessegnon. Winks with the ball here for Spurs. And we're back to where we were. And Chris, there are moments in this game where it's just starting to threaten to sort of come to life at the moment.
Yeah, we're just lacking that final ball, aren't we? But we could get this moment here as Middlesbrough looking to motor forward.
Here goes Housen. Now, what options have he got ahead of himself? He's looking for Sporar. It's a good interception by Matt Doherty. Was able to go and pick the danger, stopping the former Sporting Lisbon defender. It's Christian Romero just able to jump out of the way of Housen. And
nobody's got the scoring touch at the moment in the FA Cup. Palace and Stoke have gone in 0-0 as well. So if you've got any goal coupons lying around anywhere, or if you've got enough Trevor Bonds to cash one in, please do.
Please note, cashing in Trevor Bonds, to let you know, they are worth more than the Russian ruble, just to point that out, which I understand is worthless at the moment, and so be it. Anyway, enough politics on the channel. Let's talk more about the football, and let's talk about how Middlesbrough are going to get a result today, because they seem to be pressing. They seem to have lots of urgency and ingenuity, but Chris, lacking a bit of quality. Some of their touches have been quite heavy at the moment from the likes of Watmore and Sporar and Crooks today. And I feel today, if they can find their touch, they might be able to cause Spurs problems.
It could just be nerves. They're very, very close to a trip to Wembley. It's only a couple of games away in this current FA Cup format. Quarterfinals and then the semi-finals after this. You're at Wembley straight away. So it's a nervy occurrence for them, and obviously they should have good practice. They went to Old Trafford and came out the victors, so this really should be a cakewalk at their own stadium as well. So if this does go the distance, this is going to suit them.
Well, one thing that has been certain with the FA Cup in its move to put the semi-finals at Wembley, it definitely adds more to the quarter-finals, and the sixth round games certainly have a little bit of bite at the moment, which is always great to see. Here is Crooks. He's able to get the ball forward. Now he's aside Jones. Marcus Taverneau's look lively and industrious, but yet lacking sort of quality pass through. Housen offering his support. Here he is now, the Middlesbrough captain. Paddy McNair is pushed forward, and Watmore here is going drops. He's to the edge of the area. He's now pulled back. Niall Taylor offering support over on the near side. Housen. Isaiah Jones is unmarked at the moment. If Dijkstal can see him, he's found him now. Here's Isaiah Jones at the moment. Crooks has tried to make a run into the area. Taverner, chance to turn. Little pass inside. Great little pass across. It's cut off in the end by Doherty. As Niall Taylor looked to have a look in. The header is back in by Fry. It's cleared away in the end from Ben Davis. Now Son gets it away. There is Fry again. Middlesbrough just starting to find moments. And Chris Wilder right to the far side, can see him frantically throwing instructions through. And there was just a little misunderstanding at the moment between Crooks and Watmore, but it's Middlesbrough come again. Here's Taverner at the moment. There may be the sense of a chance. There may be the sense of something through Paddy McNair trying to charge forward. He's brought down, nothing given. It was a half-hearted appeal, it has to be said, but now Spurs can break Kulieski at the moment with the ball inside his own half. Pass into Emil Holberg. Now this is Matt Doherty. Crossfield ball, he goes all the way and digs it to Ben Davis. His touch is heavy. He's able to control the ball and lay it back to Holberg. We're right back to Route 1, but the ball over the top looking for Harry Kane. Kane's touch is immaculate. Sadly, he was offside. He disagrees with the decision, being the captain, but the flag goes up. And in that moment, the game almost threatened to spring to life, Chris.
It did. We are literally just missing that final ball. We need that defence splitting pass. I mean, the thing that I'm noticing with Spurs is when they're on the back foot at the minute, which they have been for probably the last 15 minutes or so. Eric Dyer is essentially dropping in as a third centre back for them, so they're playing 5 at the back at times, which you kind of expect with a Antonio Conte kind of setup. So yes, it's very much an attacking side versus I don't know what I'd call Spurs a defensive side, but it's Antonio Conte's bread and butter: defence first, attack second. And you're very much seeing that clash of style.
Yeah, of course, Antonio Conte in his season he won the Premier League with Chelsea, which people do forget. 3 at the back was what he brought in, and that made Chelsea pretty much unplayable for 4 months of the season until tactically teams learnt how to play with them. Sometimes that can be the case, and now you tend to see it a lot, people playing 3 at the back. That's an excellent ball. Flagger stayed down. Jones just trying to get onto the end of that ball. That was a good ingenuity from the pass from Paddy McNair all the way back to Isaiah Jones, and it was just so unlucky.
Yeah, if he had size 12 feet, he would have made that. That's how close it was, really. Perfect run as well. Bent the run, so he had full momentum the moment the ball left the passer's foot. So it was inch perfect. It was Michael Owen-esque almost.
Definitely say that. Here's Harry Kane, who's catching up Michael Owen on the all-time scoring charts here for England. This is Kulievski. Now it is Winks. Christian Romero has come forward, and Doherty offering his support over on the near side. Here he is now, but he's been marked at the moment by Taverner. Romero. Kulievski up against McNair, trying to find a cross. It's difficult to do. Doherty, 4 in the area for Spurs for just 1 second there. This is Holberg. Now he has the ball. He does cross. Back towards the far post, looking towards Sessegnon. It's headed away by Dijkstall. Sporar. He is caught by Ben Davis. Good foul potentially to give away, but the pass has been given away, and now Spurs continue to move it through Dyer. Heavy touch at the moment from Romero. Dyer again out wide to Doherty. Doherty brings the ball forward for Tottenham Hotspur. Have a little pass in to Holberg. Dyer looking for Sessegnon out wide, finding him. That's an excellent ball. Dyer at the moment up against Isaiah Jones. Now a chance for a chance to be run by Sessegnon. It looks to be 6 in one, half a dozen the other, as players fall over one another. It allows Middlesbrough to counter-attack. Isaiah Jones just looking for the ball past Holberg, wasn't able to find him. Now it's Doherty, and here the end is cut out by Noel Taylor. Welshman doing an excellent job. Paddy McNair, the international, ball is kicked forward, not necessarily with real sort of guile, but it's ended up back in Spurs' hands. 10 minutes to go to a half-time, Chris. Where do you see a goal coming from either side at the moment? Because these passes are getting long at the moment. Kulievski trying to find some space through. He's got options to find Son in the middle. He's trying to find Kane, and it's just past him. And you could just sense Spurs just trying to change their game plan, going long, and it's starting to cause problems.
It is just an update from one of the other games. The resistance at Peterborough has been broken. Manchester City have taken the lead. They've just scored just before the hour mark. I think it's Riyad Mahrez has just scored for City against Peterborough. So sterling performance from Peterborough in that one to hold them as long as possible. But going back to this one, change of strategy from Spurs to just try and play on the counter-attack, essentially, with the long balls. But as you can see, attempts 1-0 in Middlesbrough favour. We're a little shot shy so far, but as I said, we're just missing that final ball. It's getting closer, but until that moment comes, we yet to see any kind of goal-mouth action, really.
Wonderful to see it at the moment with Duncan Watmore bringing it away at the moment for Middlesbrough. Now right to Isaiah Jones. Watmore wanted it really quickly down the line. This is Taverner. He's under pressure at the moment from Ryan Sessegnon. This is Dijkstall. Now a little pass inside at the moment to Fry. All the way across into the Spurs half goes Matt Crooks, who's starting to now move over to the left after linking up at the moment a lot with Jones. So maybe some tactical changes being made by Chris Wilder. Paddy McNair. Here is Howson, Middlesbrough captain, moving the ball forward. An experienced, well-earned professional, hard-working man. He's got the armband for a reason for Middlesbrough, and they're changing form at the moment. You really have to credit for the former Sheffield United manager and the changes that he has made at the moment. This is Fry under pressure from Kane, and Kulieski also runs into the area. So does Holberg, and Taverner's forced to lay it back, and Spurs pressing for the first full time inside the Middlesbrough half. Crooks, lovely little flick through, and there was Watmore. Now it's back to Jones, and referee waves play on. And Johnston and Jones looking to link, but it's aside Jones that's forced to bring the ball all the way back to Del Fry. It seems when Middlesbrough are breaking, they're trying to commit players forward, they're just not able at the moment to commit to the quality in front of goal, and maybe that's an understanding of the respect that Spurs have for Middlesbrough and how they understand how important this game is. They have not wanted to lose rather than going out to win. Maybe it's slightly Italian in its mindset, but I'll tell you what, it worked last summer, so never discount the Italian way. They always find a way sometimes. In case of Spurs can go and find that today. And as I said, in winning in the competition, you never remember how well you played, you just remember winning the competition. Jake still to Housen. Little ball at the moment and a chance to be running by Watmore. That's excellent. There was half a chance for Sporar, but Watmore couldn't find him. Now the ball has moved away. And Harry Kane is deep in his own half trying to move it forward. Kulieski, run being made forward from the middle. This is a big run at the moment from Doherty. Keeper has committed himself. This is Doherty. Can he squeeze the ball in? It's a terrible attempt at goal. It really is, considering. And in all that situation, Joe Lumley, well, that wasn't quite what he was expecting. He hoped his interception would be fabulous, but he was a little bit of a new Avenger there, because that was nowhere near as good as what you'd expect from the great originals. But Doherty, oh, that finish, that really was poor considering.
He's not going to live that one down, is he? It's you square that to Son, and it's 1-0. But he didn't. He tried to take all the glory himself. And to be fair to Lumley, he made the decision to go out. He committed. He forced Doherty into a decision, which was you pass or shoot. And he made him make the wrong one. So, might be dangerous style of goalkeeping that, but either way, it worked, and it is still 0-0.
Well, it's as close as we've come to some liquid football today, but hopefully we'll see the game pick up more. But there's definitely going to be opportunities and openings, and a request by Chris Wilder for a foul, and a great little pass by Chris Wilder back onto the pitch. No nonsense that was, nice and quickly, and what a difference this man has made to Middlesbrough in recent times, and brilliant cup run that they've been on. It's definitely been an FA Cup in which we have seen some great games and some great moments. Of course, we've seen there were the great giant killings of Nottingham Forest exclusively here on the channel, beating Arsenal and Leicester City, and then Manchester United beaten by Middlesbrough last round, which was also here exclusively on the channel. We've definitely had our upsets in the tournament for our featured games, especially the games that myself and Chris have been involved in, so odds might be on Middlesbrough favour. Ball is launched into the area at the moment. It's a header away. Taverner. McNair. Taverner again, the teasing cross in. It's cleared away in the end, bowled away by Harry Kane. Now this is Kulieski. Good interception by Paddy McNair. Options over on the far side is Isaiah Jones. Crooks making a run forward ahead of him. Here is Isaiah Jones. This is Jykestall. Back again to Jones. Just think if the teams could raise the tempo and just look to play slightly more direct, there could be more opportunities, and you expect that will be discussed by both managers at the break. Housen to Paddy McNair. That's a clever looking reverse pass. It's got inside, but it's not quite been dealt with at the moment. It's by Sporar. Housen. And Taverner is all the way back to McNair. Taverner now. Niall Taylor looking to run into the gap. This is Watmore. Good strength by Duncan Watmore. Up against Ramiro, doing an excellent job. Housen. Pass is just short. Kane has come back defensively, looking to try defend from the front. And oh, an absolutely thunderous challenge in the end by Housen. And the referee here is going to potentially, I think about a card. Housen absolutely flew in around the back of Kulieski. At first glance, were there 2 feet raised? Does he do anything more than just a stern warning here, Chris?
Well, judging from the first replay that I've seen, he's probably a lucky man that VAR isn't actually here, because he's not in contact with the floor at all. The studs are pointing downwards, but it's not about what the studs are, it's about the force used and all that. But 10 years ago, that's a perfect challenge, really. But, you know, he's got away without a card there. So definitely final, don't do that again. Warning, that one.
my day, that was you've had a nice easy game if that was a level of challenges you had. But there you go, that's the Aldershot and District League for you. Here's an opportunity and a foul being committed there at the moment by Sia Jones. Spurs had the possession. 42.5 minutes gone at the Riverside. It's Middlesbrough 0, Spurs 0. You're listening to unofficial exclusive commentary of the FA Cup here on the TC Hub. Pierre Holberg is found himself in a little bit of space on the inside. There's a run being made by Sessegnon at the far post. There was a header by Sessegnon at the moment that hit Jones. So Sessegnon with, I guess it's a shot on goal. This is Son, because he wants to try and curl it onto his right foot. It's back to Matt Doherty, and it's wide. And it just shows you something of the game where the best chances for Spurs have fallen to the man at right back. Doherty drags his shot wide.
It's not been his game, has it? It's turning into a good game for Manchester City, though. Against Peterborough, they've scored a second. Jack Grealish has just rounded the goalkeeper and tapped in a second for them, so it looks like job done for Manchester City. But Doherty, well, it's a better effort than his previous one, but it's still off target.
I'd love to see the initial attempt that was also made by Ryan Sessegnon, because his header was brilliantly blocked with the back by Sir Jones. Did fantastically well. But if anything, you've got to credit Middlesbrough for the fact that the best chances arrive to one of the players that you would least suspect them to be able to test Joe Lumley with. Here is Watmore under pressure from Ben Davis. I see a Jones that we know he can run, but he's not been allowed to today. So Antonio Conte really has done his homework. There is Fry all the way to Paddy McNair. No changes in this half, but we could expect changes as the game go on. We could expect changes if we play 30 minutes more. Remember, today we have to have a result, so if this game isn't settled by 90 minutes, we will go to extra time. 30 minutes will be played, and if there's no result, the penalty competition will settle this contest. Duncan Watmore has been able to win the throw-in, challenging up against Ben Davis. Two Welsh left backs at the moment in either side, Ben Davis and Niall Taylor. Jones with a throw to Jykestall. Fry. Casual pass to McNair. Taylor has offered his support now and is joining him square. Taverner. Trying to find a little bit of skill to go ahead and bet past Kulieski. Just not able to do so. Clever little pass looking to be made at the moment by Fry. Jykestall. And the game seems to be petering out ahead of the half-time mark. We're having a look at time added on. It looks like it's just going to be the 1 minute. Indeed it is, so don't worry. Minutes all to reset, and we wonder what changes will be made at the second half. Of course, we'll bring you an update of everything which is going on at half-time through Russ, but there may be an update for us through Johnny Howson, who's worked his way into the area at the moment. Isaiah Jones is across, so it's Cristiano Romero, who ends up challenging. Referee waves the advantage, which is being played at the moment. This is Jykestall for Middlesbrough. Do Middlesbrough fancy nicking something right before the break? Niall Taylor, and his pass is cut out by Doherty. Taylor again with the pass inside. 30 seconds left of the first half. Paddy McNair now for Middlesbrough. Little pass, cleverly passed inside to Howson. Looks for Crooks in a bit of space in the inside right channel. Over on the ring is Isaiah Jones. Jykestall's continued to make a run. Here he is now. Now this is Crooks here for Middlesbrough. This is Isaiah Jones. Jykestall. 4 in the area at the moment for Middlesbrough. Can they find the cross? Can they keep the ball in? We've played that 1 minute. The referee allowing play to go on because we are in the final third of the pitch. If it was to go back any further, he may call the half-time whistle, and it might just be the case, and it is. There is the half-time whistle of a game which has been threatening to come to life, but so far both these sides have matched each other. Credit you have to go to Middlesbrough at the moment, who have completely matched the Premier League side and at times shown a greater intent they dare. The best chances have fallen to Spurs, and sadly for Tottenham Hotspur, they fell onto Matt Doherty, that isn't known for his great finishing when you have the likes of Son and Kane on the pitch. Half time here, it's 0-0. I'm sure it's going to improve in the second half.
Yes, thank you very much there to Trevor and Chris. We're back with us very, very shortly for the second half once the teams emerge from the tunnel at the break. Elsewhere, then, as Trevor's been keeping updated, it's 2-0. Trevor's been keeping updated, it's 2-0 to Manchester City. Jack Grealish with the second half. Riyad Mahrez put City in leading the FA Cup. It's also 1-0 to Crystal Palace, with Cheku Kiarte scoring the goal on 53 minutes. Elsewhere in the other games which are taking place, there's some half-time scores to tell you. In the Premier League, it's Burnley 0, Leicester City 0. Burnley have lost defender Ben Mee through injury in that game. They're currently drawing 0-0 with Leicester City. Leicester's next game is Leeds United under new manager Jesse Marsh, who replaced Marcelo Bielsa just yesterday. Bielsa departed Leeds United on Sunday. In the Championship, at half-time, it's Cardiff City 0, Derby County 0. There's a few games in League One tonight. It's Portsmouth 2, Oxford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Burton 1, Shrewsbury 0, Rotherham United 0, and have just been looking Rotherham United the better of the sides in that first half, but he remains goalless. Wigan Athletic were currently second in League One behind league leaders Rotherham, are 2-0 up against Fleetwood Town. Wickham 2-0 up against Cambridge as well. A few out games in League 2 action. Bristol Rovers and Barrow remain goalless. Carlisle United 1, Rochdale 0. There's also goals from Colchester United and Leyton Orient, and Crawley Town and Oldham Athletic. It's Harrogate Town 1, Port Vale 0. Newport County 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. Northampton Town 1, Walsall 0. In the National League, it is Chesterfield 0, Notts County 1. Dagenham Redbridge 3, Maidenhead United 0. Wrexham 2, Kings Lynn 0. In National League North is FC Fylde 0, York City 0, FC Telford 1, Curzon Ashton 1. And in the National League South is Braintree Town 0, Slough Town 0. In the Scottish Championship, Airborough are beating Park and Thistle by a goal to after 56 minutes. In Scottish League 1, it's Queen's Park 1, Peterhead 0 at the break. On 59 minutes in the Scottish Challenge Cup semi-final, it's Cove Rangers 0, Queen of the South 1. There as well. In the German DFB Cup, to tell you about half-time, it's currently Union Berlin 1, FC Empoli 1. In the Italian Coppa Italia, in the Milano Derby, it's AC 0, Internazionale 0. In the French Coupe de France, it's Nice 0, Belesius 0. Both the games in Italy and France have played 43 minutes respectively. And on 15 minutes in the Swiss Super League, Servette 1, Young Boys 0. And there should have been a game early hours of this morning in the Australian A-League between Western Sydney Wanderers and Wellington Phoenix. That game was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch over at Western Sydney Wanderers. That's all some of the other results or matches have taken place tonight. Just to let you know, Crystal Palace have conceded now. It's currently 1-1 at Selhurst Park. Josh Tyman with the goal on 58 minutes. There is also action in the UEFA Youth League round of 16 matches, and Manchester United are taking place in that one. Their under 19s are taking place in that competition tonight. They're taking on Borussia Dortmund, and it's called Manchester United 1, Borussia Dortmund 1, with Manchester United's Charlie McNeil equalising after Jamie Bano Gittens, Borussia Dortmund under-19s 1-0 up on 60 minutes. That also kicked off. That kicked off at 8 o'clock, so that's just gone to half-time. That's being played at the Leeds Sports Village this evening. There was also another game earlier in the UEFA Youth League, which we'll just have a tell you how that went on between Paris Saint-Germain and Sevilla, and Paris Saint-Germain won by 2-0 in that game. Tomorrow, some of the featured matches see Juve go away to AZ, Liverpool play host to Genk as well. In that game, Midtjylland will host Benfica, Real Madrid take on Atletico, or Dynamo Kiev take on Sporting Club de Portugal in their games tomorrow. The quarterfinals will be played on the 15th, about the 15th of March. And as on my monitor here, I can see, I've just seen the goal from Checo Karte. It was a wonderful finish from the Crystal Palace man to put his side into the lead. They're now currently drawing 1-1 with Stoke City. Josh Timon with the equaliser there. And we've just seen the Checo Karte goal again. Wonderful cross, low cross in. The shot came in and Checo Karte was just offside. We rebounded off of the Stoke player and landed to him, and he fired it home. Well did Checo Karte. And I think the officials decided that the Stoke player, Woodovich, was playing it that way, which is why the goal didn't get disallowed. That's just the goal that I've seen from the match between Crystal Palace and Stoke City. Still 2-0 to Manchester City. Morris and Grealish scoring on 60 and 67 minutes respectively. Arbroath and Partick Thistle are now 1-1. Kieran McKenna's just equalised for Partick Thistle, while Queen's Park have gone 2-0 up against Peterhead as well. And in the matches in Italy and in France, it's goalless in both of those matches. AC against Internazionale and Nice against Versus. And I've just seen Josh Timon's goal, and that was a wonderful finish as well to level for Stoke City. So while we get ready for the second half to come, we'll get the thoughts in a moment of Chris Wyman, who's our co-commentator this evening. And Chris, it's been a good game in prospect of what you've seen so far at the Riverside. What's been your take on the game this evening?
Well, it's been very much gone the way that it's been predicted. Middlesbrough very much being the more attacking side of the two. Tottenham quite happy to soak up the pressure and try to hit them on the break, and that's what's been happening. It's more the kind of style of how they have been trying to break. Initially, it was trying to quickly pass their way through the Middlesbrough midfield, which is very crowded, which hasn't really been working. However, their long balls over the top have been showing a bit more success towards the back ends of the first half. But Middlesbrough very much the team in control, I feel. Barring the first sort of 12 minutes or so, where Tottenham very much got out the gates a little bit quicker, it's been mostly Middlesbrough that they're lacking in the final ball for both sides, I've found. And Middlesbrough have come ever so close, and obviously Spurs is defending resolutely, perfectly demonstrated by the end by that 1 minute of added time. Middlesbrough had the ball sort of around the edge of the penalty area, but there was just this wall of white shirts in the way, and Middlesbrough had no choice but to go backwards, and then the ref blew for half time. So it's on a knife edge. We just need that one key chance, really. I mean, we kind of had it with Doherty when he sort of skied that, I want to say, open goal, but he was at a difficult angle. It was always going to be difficult to score from that angle. We should have passed it to Son, who was basically unmarked on the penalty spot. But barring that, we haven't really had any major chances. So realistically, it's going to be who gets the first major chance properly and who takes it. Because at the moment, the way both these teams are playing, it is the final ball and who's going to make the most of their chance at this point. But quite frankly, this could go the distance the way this is going. Still on for a score draw, whether it be 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, and we'll go to penalties. Because quite frankly, the way these two teams have been playing, there isn't somebody who deserves to lose. Let's put it that way. Both teams have played well in their own strategy and tactics today. So it's been a very, very good game of football. We're just lacking that one thing, which is a goal.
Yes, absolutely there, Chris. And obviously, over the day when JB and Paul James were doing the commentary in the cup final, I was speaking to Paul ahead of kick-off, and he was expecting goals in the game, like you said beforehand. He's put jinx on it to them, and it looks like at the moment, Chris, you've put jinx on this game, with having goals in the contest. What are you hoping to see from both sides in the second half, which I know you're looking to see a goal, but is there any tactical changes you think either manager could make to try and get that opening goal of the game?
Well, you could potentially shift the formations around a little bit. Obviously, Tottenham initially looked like they were going to match Middlesbrough formation with the 3-5-2, but I think they've gone for a more 4-5-1 form. It's a bit fluid, really, for Spurs. Like, as I said, Eric Dyer finds himself dropping into the centre back position sometimes when they were on the back foot. But tactically wise, I wouldn't change too much. I mean, it's as I said, Spurs could change around their formation a little bit, perhaps to expose the width a bit more, because that's sort of been their only real joy, is trying to use their pace of Sessegnon down the left-hand side, Son on the other side. Haven't really used him too much, but they probably could. They could definitely stretch that defence. As for Borough, I think they just need to be a little bit sharper. They keep the current strategy, the way they're playing is fantastic, but they just need to be just that fractional quicker. It's that difference between Championship and Premier League, because that fraction of a second in decision making is what could make the difference here. Just get that ball in the box when you get the chance. Get it in the mixer, as some people would call it, because someone will get on the end of it if it gets lofted in there. At the minute, there isn't that much supply going into the box, which isn't creating too many chances.
Yes, absolutely. We've been waiting for chances and shots on goal. We have had a goal in League 2 this evening, and it's an equaliser for Walsall. They're now going 1-1 away in Northampton, thanks to Conor Wilkinson on 50th minute. Rotherham United and Shrewsbury have just gone away in the second half, and the matches back underway in the second half. All the games in League 1 back underway, apart from the game at Middlesbrough, where Sheffield Wednesday are leading Burton by 2-1. The game in the FA Cup, both games are back underway. Middlesbrough, Man City coming towards the final few minutes. Palace game played just over an hour, 66 minutes or thereabouts for their game against Stoke City this evening. Should be what is going to look likely to be a good game and good ends to both of those games. Let's hope, like in the other two matches, let's hope we get some goals in this one to talk to you and go through about, and should be a very good match in the second half when the players emerge from the tunnels. We'll look and see what this game is going to be and whether we'll see any goals in the second half to liven up the action. And the players will be coming back out very, very shortly for second half action. We'll bring you that live to you in a minute or so. Just seeing on the monitor just some of the best chances. And Chris, I just want to get your thoughts here as well briefly, just before we get ready for the second half, on Matt Doherty's big chance, as the team's just coming back out for the second half here, Chris. Matt Doherty with a big chance to put Spurs into the lead, and he plays it over with a virtually an open goal. Oh yes, you can say there was defenders on the line, but the keeper way out, and he just plays and he goes for a rugby show, which if you were playing there'll be 3 points there. What do you think was going through his mind at that point, Chris?
I think it was a case of tunnel vision, because Son was open in the penalty area on the penalty spot. It would have been an easy tap-in for him, but I have to credit the goalkeeper on that one. Some people would have said he was a bit mad dashing out there, but he forced Doherty to make a decision. He did make contact with the ball as well, so he narrowed the angle even more. So at that point, it is just down to Doherty's decision making, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on which camp you sat in, it went over the bar, which was clearly the wrong decision.
Yes, and the game is just going away in the second half. Let's cross back over to your match. Our team is Chris Raymond, and first, Trevor Sports.
Is my co-commentator having microphone issues as he dropped it in his tea? Well,
my apologies there. How professional of me, starting the commentary whilst being on mute. Still, I'm well rehearsed for this. Thank you very much for joining us for the second half here of Spurs versus Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. I've counted 11 players out, and I've counted 11 players back onto the pitch, so that something's gone right in the game so far. Of a contest which was devoid of chances until the final 5 minutes. 4 in total, 3 to Tottenham Hotspur, 1 to Middlesbrough. yet neither goalkeeper has been tested. Then we're seeing more just colliding with the wall known as Eric Dyer, and as a result of that took a little knock, but free kick's been given, and Johnny Howson getting set to take the free kick deep into the box. And for those asking, I did drop my microphone in my tea. It's a bit late for me to be having tea. Nice smell back up that go. Cross by Howson deep into the box. Header is back across the middle. First to read it is Pierre-Emile Holberg. Now it's Kulieski, who's just struggling sometimes when for pace, but has definitely got the ability to control it. Here's Ryan Sessegnon that does not struggle with pace. Can he control it? Yes, he can. Up against Marcia Jones, who's just as quick as him. That was deliberate by Conte to go and line up player on player with their raw speed ability against one another. And there is Dyer looping over the book. We'll look for the flag. The flag has gone up against Cristiano Romero, but ran forwards. And Chris, I know you talked at the halfway mark about sides being able to move the ball quicker and to move into situations. Do you think as well they start to mix things up and launch an occasional long ball just to see if they can mix things up a bit this evening?
Well, there's nothing better than a chaotic long ball, which nobody knows where it's going, and it keeps everyone guessing. But yeah, it's just Tottenham were starting to do that towards the back end of the first half, should I say? They, like I said, they tried to do the whole pass it quickly along the ground as a counter attack, but long ball over the top started working with Sessegnon and Son's pace. So you'd expect to see more of that in this second half, I imagine. And when Middlesbrough change their tactic to counteract that, we will see.
Well, reminder here tonight that we have to have a winner. So if this game finishes level after 90 minutes, we will go to 30 minutes of extra time. And if there's still no result, then penalty competition will settle a place for who plays in the 6th round of the FA Cup. Obviously, if there's anything like the penalty competition we saw on Sunday in the Carabao Cup final, it would be lovely to enjoy. Middlesbrough themselves has been successful in the penalty competition in the FA Cup this season, knocking out Manchester United, which is always, despite perhaps Manchester United's fall from grace that they had under the managed stewardship of Sir Alex Ferguson, the name still carries that sort of residue, the likes of which Liverpool do. And now it's a chance for Spurs to move forward. Kulieski is just getting caught by that pace and looking to play the ball in, but Howson was across, and the referee here is looking to potentially cause a bit of controversy. And this was the chance that Kulieski just struggling with pace, but he had his hand on Howson's shirt. Was there a little kick out potentially by Howson?
Well, it may well be, but quite frankly, that's a free kick in the opposite direction for shirt pulling from the Spurs player. So, a bit of a 50-50 decision going there, and it's, well, gone in Spurs' favour. Pick your free kick taker for this one. Højbjerg's not afraid of free kicks either, but I dare say Harry Kane is probably, well, he is standing over the ball, let's be honest. There's only one man who's going to take it.
Harry Kane is just standing over the ball, just starting to take a few steps back, has the ability to bend it over the wall at pace. Does Harry Kane fancy this FA Cup? 5th round, 0-0. Middlesbrough Spurs. Can Kane see an ability to flick it over the wall? Lumley's left a lot of space over to his right. Can Kane find it? Oh, it's a terrible free kick right into the wall. After all that setup, Flame couldn't flick it. He could barely kick it. It's gone straight into the wall. It's a dreadful attempt. And in the end, Lloris's clearance is no better. It's flying high and into Rosette. And that was a pretty dreadful bit of football there by the England captain.
Well, he lost his footing as he stepped up, didn't he? So he's fallen on his backside. Free kickers just rolled into the wall and been easily cleared. That's one that I'm sure he'll be reminded of at the end of the game, I'm sure, with that one. But yeah, it's interesting that Lumley left a lot of space to his right for that free kick. It's very jarringly obvious that he'd left that gap. So sometimes it's dangerous to kind of bluff on that one, because sometimes a striker can call you on that bluff and put it right in that corner, and you look a bit of a plonk.
Yeah, Ada, Ronald Koeman, David Seaman, Rotterdam, 1993. We need I say more. He's going to flick one. However, we know Harry Kane's quality that he does possess, and I'm sure he'll be able to make a comeback in this game. Probably much better than the hairline of Antonio Conte, to be fair. Still, Middlesbrough, they have the ball at the moment, and it's being led by Dale Fry to move it out wide to Dryksteel. So Dryksteel. Jones, heavy touch again. There must be something in the pitch today, because the ball Seems to be flying at the player's feet. That's a clever little pass for Kane to run into. Does he have the pace to keep it in? Not quite, but slightly better vision being made. Kane wasn't able to read it, and there is Afemi Jai still here with the opportunity to throw. We've played 6 minutes here of the second half, and if you're looking, is Christian Romero. He's wearing number 4 for Spurs.
There's a full time that's just come in. So Manchester City have progressed by 2-0 against Peterborough. Peterborough run them close. They really gave them a run for their money. It wasn't a walkover. Peterborough did themselves proud in that one, but the many millions that City have behind them and the quality of players that they've got there eventually showed.
But at the same time, Chris, the new reward in the FA Cup in terms of financial payments for progression in the Cup, that's really going to help Peterborough United Football Club in the long term, what they would have earned from this season's run.
Yeah, it certainly will, and it was a full house at Peterborough as well, so they've certainly made a lot from the gates. And I dare say, I mean, it's a difficult time for them. They've just lost Duncan Ferguson as their manager. They removed him, but a bit of stuff going on in the box there, so I'll hand it back to you for it.
Well, it was a shout for a penalty, but the shout was probably more by the Middlesbrough faithful at the Riverside than the 11 players in red that are on the pitch at the moment. When it happened at the moment, Darren England was completely unmoved and straight away signalled no penalty. We're watching a replay of the chance now. Isaiah Jones just seemed to be, was he caught? He just seemed to sort of fall over the moment he felt anything sitting behind him. Watmore did really well to get the ball in. And is that shoulder to shoulder there, Chris?
Yeah, that or his weight distribution is. He must have a really heavy brain, is what I'll go with that one, because he just poleaxed straight over as soon as there was a minor bit of contact. So it was a bit of a stretch asking for a penalty with that one.
Well, I understand his pain, having his brain as big as I do at the moment, and required to do so to be able to prep for the game in the time available. But I understand his pain because I'm forever falling over. One of that's just because I've got wobbly feet. Still, Spurs can come and move away. We'll stop talking about the commentators' defects today and we'll start focusing on the contest again, as I promised to do so much so. Here's Ben Davis with Tottenham Hotspur right on the halfway line, just outside the centre circle, passing it back to Eric Dyer, who sits right inside the centre circle. And we're still waiting really for the game to get going with a good level of attacking football, but we're starting to see a few more options open up at the moment. This is Sporar at the moment, just Watmore ahead of him. Sporar against Doherty, looking for a cross in. It's cleared away, and there was Crooks looking to find it at the far post. Dyer's got it away, and just the noise level's been raised a bit here at the Riverside.
Yeah, set pieces bring chances, and this will be a better chance than any to get a shot on target, as long as you know how to execute your set pieces. And I dare say Chris Wilder has made them do plenty of these in training.
Wait and see. Come on, Borough is the chant from the Middlesbrough faithful. Johnny Housen is coming over to take the corner over on the far side, right-footed to swing it in. Del Fry is forward. So is Paddy McNair. They're together at the moment. Christian Romero and Ben Davis are both marking them. Housen knows this has got to be a good ball into the box. It's not bad. Oh, it's over the top. It's a real chance for Matt Crooks. That's the best opportunity, best clear chance of the match so far. Middlesbrough's first corner. It very nearly led to the opening goal.
Well, I said it at half-time. This is going to come to this match is going to be won by who takes the little chances that they get in this game. That was one of them.
Such frustration on the face of Matt Crooks. That of Chris Wilder that knew that header just needed to be a little more controlled in that situation. But could that spark Middlesbrough into life? Could that spark them forwards? Remember, here on the commentary hub, we've got a history of upsets bringing to you live and exclusive. Middlesbrough's success in the previous round, Nottingham Forest's success over Arsenal, and Leicester City. Is this going to be the start of yet another upset available on the commentary hub as we bring our exclusive unofficial coverage here of the FA Cup? 10 minutes gone in the second half. Is it Jones, and that little left-footed pass is just cut out by Ben Davis. Kane, option to lay it forward. That's a clever looking pass by Kane, but Paddy McNair read it and then got himself into trouble. Ben Davis is brought down. Referee will look to bring the play back for a free kick, and I wonder if this is the first yellow card of the contest. It is. Housen is absolutely infuriated by it, but we understand why. There is a foul to McNair, and it's really all kicking off at the moment. Housen desperately upset, bouncing up against Harry Kane, the two of them with handbags at dawn. And the referee here might just have a word to try and calm things down, because the game just threatening to boil over at the moment. Housen infuriated by it, and perhaps Kane just winding up the Middlesbrough skipper there.
Well, Harry Kane shouldn't be getting involved there. It's just stupid. He could get himself easily sent off by raising his hands like that. Just silly behaviour. He should know better. But, well, the yellow card is being dished out. McNair obviously going into the book for the challenge, which quite rightly so was deserving of a yellow card. Wasn't the last man, so it's definitely not a red. But, yeah, it's definitely a yellow. But this here, yeah. I'll let you go. Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on, where that started from. Someone else has gone in the book as well for Spurs. Romero.
Yeah, Christian Romero booked in because whilst Kane and Housen were having their handbags, Romero's got involved and pushed him away. So Christian Romero has also been booked because of that.
There is a goal at Crystal Palace Stoke. We're in the 82nd minute and Crystal Palace have just scored.
Palace do have a history of the FA Cup, and a great history. Beaten finalists in 1990 and 2016. But they go ahead and move forward. Of course, Spurs in recent times have got the semi-final of 2018. It's about as good as they've got. If you want to see Spurs successful in the FA Cup in modern times, probably have to watch the 2020 episode of Cup Final Grandstand on Trevor Sports. And that's, if you like what you hear, that's how you can follow me. If you're enjoying my co-commentator today, please search for the Virtual Sports Network on YouTube. Follow us both, but we thank you both for joining us this evening on the TC Hub. Eric Dyer, he's got this free kick now. Oh, it's a great effort by Eric Dyer. Looped it over the wall. It was much further out than the effort Harry Kane had, and Lumley's save was absolutely fabulous.
Two strong hands to that one. That one wasn't getting past him. Good one for the cameras. But it's an excellent save. That's sneaking in just by the post if he doesn't get to that.
Well, Spurs here have got their fourth corner of the contest. Hong-Min Song is standing ready. He's just being held up at the moment by one of the assistants. As Darren England, the referee today, just has a little word once again, and there's Dyer and Fry, Davis and Kane, and this is just starting to get a little niggly, and probably what the game needs with about half an hour or so to go. It does need a little bit of bite to spice things up. And the Spurs goal really pick things going. There's a lot of tussling and turning in the area. Son's corner in, it's headed back in, and there's the goal from who else? Do I need to tell you the goal scorer? Harry Kane. How, who's not scored? Harry Kane has not scored. The flag has gone up for offside, and Darren England runs over to the assistants. And well, you thought at the moment that Goal King Kane had struck, but it isn't the case, and it looks to be Paddy McNair down and hurt quite badly.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there. It looked like that was going to be given as a goal. Let's have a look here. So Kane, he's tussling with somebody. I don't know what happened to McNair. I mean, he's got fit. Both of them have got a fistful of shirt. Kane and Fry have both got a handful of each other's shirts. So that might be what it was called for. But McNair is still down. Not entirely sure what happened with him.
The decision went up very quickly to go ahead and disallow the goal. So credit to the assistant referees and that. We hope McNair is okay. Still yet to see a shot of him, and looks as if he's got the concussion experts involved in there straight away. Looks as if he's put in a brave shift and a brave bit of defending, and to make sure Middlesbrough survive. Well, it's a little sort of prelude to what we saw in the League Cup final. Goals going in but disallowed. But you have to say there, Chris, though, given the half chance that Kane had, that was a very good finish in the circumstances, even though it was disallowed.
It was. It's kind of a little bit of a warning to Middlesbrough. That was a half chance essentially taken, if not ruled out by the referee. So now it's kind of, you have to take your next one. This is going to be, I feel like this has probably got 1-0 written on it at this point. I know my prediction at the start was a score draw, but at this point, I mean, a goal could bring the game alive. We really don't know. The next goal, naturally, of course, is going to be important because it could be the winning goal. It'll be a 1-0, but we'll see. It's the FA Cup. We just simply don't know what's going to happen.
People talk about the magic of the cup, and it's sometimes when that lower ranked side within the Football League pyramid steps up on the day against the side above them that suddenly just doesn't quite get it right on the night. And so far today, Middlesbrough at the moment are ahead on the possession stats. They've seen more of the ball. In terms of shots on goal, it's 6-2 in favour of Tottenham Hotspur. But the stat that matters today is the one in the top left of the screen. It's 0-0 at the moment. We're in the 62nd minute at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Live FA Cup 5th round football here on the commentary hub. Eric Dyer with a strong header down to Housen, who plays one into the channel at the moment for a run by Watmore, and Christian Romero is across to deal with that. Casually plays it inside to Doherty, and he's asked a lot of Lloris, who's just forced to clear it away, and I don't think Lloris will be pleased with that pass from Doherty, trying to keep the ball, and as a result he's put his skipper and his goalkeeper under some unnecessary pressure in their situation. Wait for the throw to be taken by Noel Taylor. Stand set to go. Just Duncan Watmore and Sporar in the area at the moment. This is Taylor again trying to cross. Blockers by Romero. Another corner available for Middlesbrough. Can they take advantage from this one?
Well, they came close with the previous. They got a warning from Tottenham's previous corner. It really is. It's in the melting pot now, this match.
In terms of the contest, both these sides at the moment have played it quite carefully up till now, but it's just starting to really pick up pace, and it's just starting to feel like a proper, good old-fashioned FA Cup tie. That usually follows a giant killing, and Middlesbrough will be hopeful of that. Housen's corner in, headed away by Sessegnon. Good header away by Sessegnon. Isaiah Jones, Dijkstall, number 2, plays it. Oh, excellent ball in the end to Duncan Watmore. Housen. Now this is Taverner, he went there footed, and now it is broken in the area to Crooks. Oh, his pass is just overhit for Jones, but Jones does well to keep the ball in. Here is Matt Crooks again. Dijkstall again with his opportunity. Isaiah Jones up against Sessegnon. Middlesbrough claiming that they wanted the ball over the cross at the moment. Sporar, McNair and Watmore all wanted that crossed early from deep. And Sporar and Dijkstall and McNair are still forward. I think McNair is coming back now. This is Housen. That's an excellent little pass to McNeil. Now here's McNair. Taylor. Housen. Lovely little touch to get past Holberg. Johnny Housen to Taverner. Good play from Middlesbrough. One touch passing, keeping the ball. Here's Housen, starting to get more involved in the game from Middlesbrough's standpoint. Marcus Taverner, number 7, little pass back inside. Now it's back out to
everyone behind the ball.
Crooks they do. Here's Isaiah Jones just trying to run into space, and he's done that here at the moment, and he's gone down, and the referee's given a free kick, and it looked like Jones went down a tad easy, but he was pushed from behind. Spurs look very unhappy with that decision, but Dean England gave it a second and gave the decision straight away.
I can understand their protests, but you can't just cut across someone like that and expect to not give away a free kick. It might be light contact, but it's enough to win a free kick. And they would, Tottenham, if it was a free kick given their way, they'd be saying it's a fair call.
The use of the arms to sort of just lean in by Harry Winks was probably why referee Darren England gave that decision. But now we have the little debate set up about who gets to have a crack at Hugo Lloris and the Tottenham Hotspur wall. Housen is over it. Taverner is also over it. McNair was looking for it. And there is also someone laying on the ground. It was Harry Winks, who's decided it's much more effective to mark the overscale on the back. Housen's effort just wide! Played a quick little 1-2 with Taverner, tried to curl it around. Very unlucky. Good ingenuity from the Middlesbrough skipper.
I'm hearing my old coach from shouting from the sideline, which has hit the target in a very venomous manner. Because so far everyone's not been hitting the target. The only person who's hit the target is Harry Kane, and his goal was disallowed. So if we could all just, at least get it on target, make the goalkeeper work a bit more. We had that one save which Middlesbrough goalkeeper had to make, but barring that, it's very much been the ball boys have been busy behind the goals.
Certainly the goalkeepers are stealing a living today. No one's really been able to make them earn their money at the moment, but football is about paying your rent. You've got to go ahead and do your share. It's a great line said by a famous commentator, and a Kevin Keegan goal once reiterated. Possession in the last 5 minutes, 78% of it is by Middlesbrough. Les Lloris, does he pass into no man's land? No, he finds a clever little ball and Spurs try to move it away far too cleverly. McNair, Housen diving in again, doing well. Now it's a chance for Tottenham Hotspur to move the ball forward. Sessegnon with a chance to run. Jones with a defensive header back has got to make sure it finds Lumley. That's great defensive work, and Lumley acknowledges the great work of his winger to make sure the goalkeeper would have that ball. That was good defending.
It was smart, it was clever. The pass was a little under hit, but he cleverly recovered by just keeping his body between the opposition player and the ball, which allowed the goalkeeper to come out and claim it. So either way, it got all the way through.
Five with a long ball, and Dyer will pick this up. Ben Davis, little flick into the channels. Son, Kane, and there is Jones, number 35 again. Will he grow into the game as time goes on? Reminder at the moment, as things stand, we're set for extra time. 30 minutes of additional football to be played today. And, Doherty has jumped in, has lost it. Referee gives the throw-in favour of Middlesbrough. And if you're Chris Wilder or you're Antonio Conte at the moment, Chris, what are you thinking at the moment?
Can I refer to my previous statement about hitting the target? that's what they'll be screaming at the moment from the sidelines. Hit the target, make the goalkeeper work. Just get some shots in. I think for Wilder, it is going to be a case of just try and get the ball in the box, because they're hesitant to launch it in at the minute. Maybe they don't think they've got the physical presence in the box, but they just need to. You've got to create the supply for your strikers in the box to feed off something. And at the minute, they're not getting the ball in the box enough to cause Tottenham problems, barring from corners, obviously, which they've come very close with. Whereas for Spurs, I think, I don't know, they're not. Son's getting a little bit mixed up in tactical holding up. But it's, for Conte, I'd be a little worried. He needs a bit more from his players, because they're giving Middlesbrough a little bit too much respect, even though they are the first team. Middlesbrough at the minute are dominating Tottenham.
Well, if you're Tottenham Hotspur, who have you got on the bench at the moment from attacking lineup for them? Perhaps Steven Bergwijn might be your best attempt from them. But this is starting to be a game in which the referee has got more and more involved in. It's starting to get a little niggly. Both sides, I can see, are frustrated with the way the game is going. And Kulievski is going to be marched at the moment in front of Dean England, and we're watching Antonio Conte pace up and down. Just a little word here from the match official today. Remind him, let's play football and let's not sit there and pitter-patter about and start getting all niggly as if it's a Sunday afternoon pub game, which of course there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes you have to remember these are professional footballers. They really should be getting into this sort of gamesmanship at this level, should be able to rise above it. Lumley here for Middlesbrough. Just rather than blast it, just tries to flick it forward at the moment, looking for Crooks. Ben Davis wins it. Housen again putting some pressure at the moment on Holberg. Watmore putting pressure on Ramiro. Doherty's little pass at the moment. Now Middlesbrough have got it. Now is Marcus Taverner a chance to run at the moment against Ramiro. And Taverner's got it. Can he win an opportunity for his side? He can't, because the ball has gone out for a throw-in. Straight away, you can see it getting niggly this game. There is something here today that the referee's got to try and get control soon, because it seems tactically both sides are frustrated. At the same time with them, they don't seem to have the mindset to understand at the moment that this is about trying to out-position your opposition, and they're both falling for each other's mind games here, Chris.
Well, Tottenham are very much being accused of parking the bus by the Middlesbrough players, and the Spurs players are very much probably feeling the pressure of the whole, this is our only shot at a trophy, and feeling the pressure of it, and it's kind of their season in this match, so naturally tensions are going to be high. So it really is just a very tense affair, and at this point I'm going to say it. I'm going to say next goal wins, because the way that this is playing out, it really is. It's very tense, and whoever takes advantage first is probably going to try and hang on to it.
Still with a clever pass inside. This is Sporar. Now it is Crooks. Little pass into the channel, but an overhit pass at the moment is Watmore, who to be fair, Duncan Watmore today has worked hard, but really has been a striker starved of anything to get his teeth into this evening. Well, here we go. That is the Riverside. What a wonderful sight it is. A stadium which has been rebuilt and definitely deserves Premier League football in its quality. And Middlesbrough, after falling away from their sort of travels down to League One, have struggled since, but Middlesbrough will know at the moment that they do have a history of great cup runs, but they've only got the one success. That's the 2004 League Cup final. On that occasion there they were victorious, and the person that lifted that trophy is the current England manager Gareth Southgate. But they've been beaten UEFA Cup finalists, they've been beaten FA Cup finalists, and beaten League Cup finalists, both against Chelsea. I'm sure if Middlesbrough were to get through to there, it's definitely the team that they would like to avoid. At the moment, we have gone dark, so we're going to guess what's happening at the moment. And in terms of, we're back again. I was about to sit there and say we've seen the best goal we've seen since Maradona in 1986, but that's simply not the case. We've seen there is a cross that's coming from deep, and it is a deep cross which Lloris claims with just sitting behind him was none other than Andres Sporar. No changes as such by either manager. Is Sessegnon using his pace, getting the ball across? He's got Frey across. Sessegnon needed to play it quickly, came frustrated that the cross didn't come in quicker. When the cross did come in, it was easily dealt with. Paddy McNair clearing it away left-footed. Good adjustment on the feet. And, I think there has been a change at the moment from Spurs. We should wait and see to see what goes on.
I want to say, did Dan Gosling come on? I'm having flashbacks when the screen went black there. Everyone will remember, or some of you won't, the goal which was missed because we decided to watch adverts in the 89th minute.
Indeedy doody. In fact, it was the 120th minute they went to an advertisement. Somebody went ahead and clicked the button a little too quickly of that day. Of course, that was also the same year that went ahead that Steven Gerrard's goal against England was missed against the USA in South Africa. Perhaps the highlight of that tournament for England. I think where we are, 11 years on from that tournament, and the excellent work that Gareth Southgate's done, and he learnt his trade here at the Riverside. And it just goes to show you that there is a great football club here that's just lost its way in recent time, and maybe this is the opportunity Middlesbrough can find to show what they can do. Because here today, against a Premier League side, they've shown they certainly do have a bit about them. They've just yet to go ahead and find the real Premier League quality to find a way through. But they are able to defend well against the Premier League side. Here's Taverner, ball into the channel, opportunity to run. The run has to be made by Dyer, who claims it back nice and easily. Now Lloris. Now it is back to Ben Davis.
We have no idea what the time or the score is. I think it's 0-0. There is no scoreboard currently on display.
I make it at about the 73rd, 74th minute of this contest. To let you know about things happening in the Premier League as Kane's ball comes in and it's cleared away by Sid Jones.
Well, I can update you on. I can update you on Palace. They have successfully gone through to the next round. They've held on against Stoke to go through by 2-1. And as you say, in the Premier League, Leicester have scored in the 82nd minute against Burnley. So that's a good result for Leicester. As the picture quality at the minute is being challenging, but we can see that Duncan Watmore is heading off, and just waiting to see. I can't tell who that is because the graphics man is rapidly bashing his hammer against his panel trying to get something to work.
Wait until you know what's going on at the moment. We're in the probably about 15 minutes to go of full time at the moment. Wait and work out who is coming on.
Faulian Balogun, who has come on for Duncan Watmore on loan from Arsenal.
So the Duncan Watmore is off. Faulian Balogun, number 47, is on Middlesbrough today. This is Ben Davis. Pass all the way back. Dyer. Here's Harry Winks. Wait and see. It's the old-fashioned sort of cut presentation at the moment. No score. You're relying on the commentator to keep score. Once I get the word that there's 10 minutes to go, I'm going to set my timer and do it the old-fashioned way. So we'll wait and see what happens from that standpoint. And you're right. Faulian Balogun has replaced Duncan Watmore. So in that case, I make us the fact that we have just 14 minutes or so to go, so we're in the 76th minute of the match. And apologies if you are having to sort of survive with us guessing, because our feed has gone to a temporary fault. Isn't that lovely? Well, while we're waiting for a temporary fault to go through, we'll just remind you of some of the highlights of the game thus far. And there has been chances, particularly from the Tottenham Hotspur side. They have had some opportunities at goal, but have yet to really been able to take them at the moment.
I do have a picture, Trevor, so if you wish, I can take the baton briefly whilst the IT people rapidly try to fix things.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Go for it. Go for it.
So Middlesbrough currently bringing the ball forward over the halfway line. They currently have possession. They're on the far side. Balogun on the ball now, receiving a pass from the far side. Apologies if my commentary is not quite... I've got no team sheet notes to go off because Trevor has them all. But Middlesbrough just holding the ball just on the edge of the centre circle at the minute. There is now a scoreboard, no timer yet, and pictures may well be re-emerging on your end, I believe. It's Middlesbrough just holding on to possession at the minute.
Yep. I have pictures.
Just holding their position. So I'll hand you back over to Trevor now that, that some poor chap from IT has just been given a good old rollicking, the hairdryer treatment, if Ferguson would call it.
Absolutely. So what was the time left in the game, Chris? We're going to have to work that one out now.
Currently, we're not sure. There's still no timer. So,
right. Well, we'll let you know if there's time added on, but at the moment, folks, it's still 0-0. So if you can't see a score here, a score, apologies. This is unofficial commentary. We are doing this to the best of our ability. I guess next time I'll keep a stopwatch and work out how long is left in the contest. This is Dyke still with an early opportunity to move the ball inside. Now this is Hazel Woods. Moments as well. If you are watching at the moment, there is no sound at the moment coming from the feed that we have also got. So this is a game which has been hit from technical problems. This is Marcus Taverner.
Must point out it's not TC Hub technical problems. This is somebody else.
Yes. Yeah, they're a company that are 100 years old at the moment, but there we go. It's always rare that these things happen, but they do happen. There's always a course of understanding that. Here's Taverner. Now at the moment is number 6 Dale Fry to Matt Crooks, number 25 for Middlesbrough, brings it forward into the channel at the moment. And there is looking for the real change, which has been the fact that Oygun has come on for Middlesbrough. And he is a man at the moment that definitely will hopefully can cause some chaos in the box. That's not going to be required at the moment from Balogun. Holbert under pressure at the moment, and he's lost it just for half a second, but Spurs go ahead and move it away. There is Kane looking for the run of Sessegnon, but not able to get it across field collectively, and that is a major factor in the fact that it's just not quite happening at the moment. We're waiting to if you are tuning in to join us at the moment, it is currently at the moment Middlesbrough 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 at the moment in the FA Cup between these two. Astonishing to think that we technical problems in 2021. There we go, we do. I've got sound back, which is lovely.
The most timestamp I can give you is we are approaching the last 10 minutes, according to Danny Murphy, our really reliable timekeeper.
Well done, Mr. Murphy. Here's Housen at the moment, moving it forward at the moment. There is Crooks. There's an opportunity to find a cross. It's a substitute with the big chance. There it was, Balogun with the big chance. That was his moment. He was caught flat-footed, and he's blazed it over the bar.
Well, there's another one. We're going to be sitting here going, here were all the chances to win the game, and then we're probably going to say this was the chance that won the game, and it wasn't that one. They'll be ruining that chance, Middlesbrough, if they're not careful. That's, as we say, there will be extra time and penalties, so this could go on and on.
We are in the 80th minute as things stand. So in the 80th minute of this contest, it's 0-0, and we're waiting for time added on before we hit the 90. If you are tuning in and you are listening to us, we're going off, and there we go. We're back up and running. We've got a score. just waiting for a time to be set up, and then we'll know what's going on. But don't worry, we've not missed much in the last 6 minutes or so, except from potentially the best chance to win the game. And in all of that, Matt Doherty has been substituted off for Tottenham Hotspur. We'll find out who he's been substituted off for very shortly. I suspect it's potentially Davison Sanchez, maybe at the right back position. There is Dyer, put under pressure by Sporar. Dyer clearing left-footed, long upfield. Housen. Son wins it for Spurs. Stephen Bergwijn, he's come on as a substitute and can move forward. He's got Harry Kane to his left. Here is Kane at the moment. There is Stephen Bergwijn! Oh, what a brilliant challenge by Paddy McNair. That was excellent. Bergwijn was right the way through, and that's an excellent bit of defending. And then a foul has been committed by Ramiro.
Well, that slide tackle was as good as a goal. Inch perfect. You get those wrong, it's a penalty. You're probably getting a card, maybe getting sent off. But this was executed to perfection. Gets a toe on it, doesn't take the man out at all either. It's just perfectly executed slide tackle. Absolutely love it.
Brilliant bit of defending, denies Stephen Bergwijn, who I suspect here, Chris, has come on for Kulievski while our pitches have been interrupted in this game.
Yes, I'll look for confirmation on that one. There's all kinds of technical difficulties currently going on at the Riverside, so I suspect that is probably the case. I can't see. Well, obviously we've seen Dodsey on the bench. So
it's Ryan Sessegnon who replaced Stephen Bergwijn. And Emerson Royals replaced Matt Doherty in the 81st minute. So apologies if we're trying to sort of keep ourselves up to date with that. But here's Middlesbrough with a chance. It's a good block in the area. It is a clearance by Pierre Holberg in the end. And so far at the moment, Florian Balogun is just starting to produce a few more opportunities for Middlesbrough at the moment.
Yes, those fresh legs are certainly coming into play there, and he's on loan from Arsenal, looking to prove a point. There's been a second goal at Turf Moor. Jamie Vardy has doubled Leicester's lead, so that looks like it's 3 points going Leicester's way there. And after Burnley's back-to-back victories, it's going to sting a little bit, but they've still got games in hand. I'm sure they'll be okay should they get everything together.
Well, that may spoil a couple of the members of the TC Hub's party, that is, that goal by Vardy. Now it's an opportunity for Son to run at the moment. Jake steals across. Son here hasn't really seen a lot of the ball today. Might see an opportunity to cross. Yes, he does. It's cut out at the near post. It's another good bit defending by Johnny Housen, who has stood out today as one of the outstanding players at the moment from Middlesbrough. Chris, I've got to ask you, as we're approaching the end of the 90, who is your shoe-in for player of the match at the moment?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would probably go Housen. He has been the best player on the pitch, I feel. Johnny Housen has been just here, there and everywhere for Middlesbrough. He's been running the show. I would be inclined to give it to the Middlesbrough skipper. He's been superb.
Son's corner. It's headed just over at the near post from Eric Dyer, who's deeply frustrated, but he slid in, got his head to the ball, just couldn't keep it on goal. And at what point in this match is the goalkeeper's going to be tested?
Well, if everyone hit the target, my 2-2 prediction would have been okay. But it's just the game of missed chances. Who wants to blink first? Who actually wants to take it? Who wants to win this game and be one game away from Wembley? Because at the minute, none of the strikers seem to want to know. But defensively wise, though, this game has been somewhat of a clinic. Let's be honest. Spurs have defended really well, and Middlesbrough have just smothered Spurs whenever they've got the ball.
Taverner, but the referee is going to pull play out for a foul which took place earlier on. Chris Wilder having a word with his assistants and barking instructions. He knows at the moment that there is the potential for his side to cause a big upset and find themselves in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. That's the 6th round. Here is Dyer, Ramiro, Emerson Royal ahead of him, choosing not to play. There is Winks. Ramiro, left-footed, and it's ended up back at Lloris rather than Eric Dyer. Brooks is offering a bit of pressure. Lloris clearing it again. Now he looks for Emerson Royal. Royal's header. Bergwijn. And Housen gets there. This is Niall Taylor. It's a foul. Taylor with the opportunity to throw. Now is Taverner. Free kick for Middlesbrough, as I should say. Pretty much on the halfway line.
Chris Wilder would take it if he could.
Absolutely, but we nearly could. We've seen an excellent pass by him today. This is Stephen Bergwijn, he's got an opportunity to run centrally. That's a clever little ball looking for Kane. Great keeping by Lumley. I think that's the first save of the contest at the moment. I think Lumley's done brilliantly, but I think the flag's been up. Player will be brought back for an offside potentially on Harry Kane. With good vision from Stephen Bergwijn, but again Lumley was quick off his mark, and that to make Kane's opportunity to finish much trickier.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was the right decision for it to be offside, but Lumley again made his decision immediately, coming off his line, and well, he made a fantastic save, which will still count. You know, even though it was offside in the end, it wouldn't have counted. But either way, it's another. I want to say another half chance, but obviously it wouldn't have counted. But either way, it's Kane is just trying to. Yeah, Kane just trying to carve out a chance for his side, but it's proving difficult.
There's now Taylor. Taverner. Taylor again, he's asked a lot of him, Taverner, and Emerson Royal has been able to get it away. Lieski. Pass is just sort of behind Bergwijn, but Holberg's been picking it up nicely. He's lost the ball at the moment. Now it's an opportunity for Taverner, who's continued to run, and it's an excellent run being made at the moment. Options, Taverner. It's Icy Jones! It's a good save from Lloris. What a brilliant run, it has to be said, by Marcus Taverner. Jones with the shot, best chance of the contest to win the game for Middlesbrough.
Well, it's coming alive now in what I think is the last 10 minutes. Still don't know, but Taverner marauding forward, found the man free to the right of him. It was the right decision. Lloris makes a good save. His defender bails him out, but there's a corner to deal with, so the danger's not finished yet.
Approaching the 90th minute in this contest. And for the first time, Hugo Lloris, the World Cup winning French captain, has been forced to make a save.
I believe we're in the 87th minute, if I squint enough on my screen.
Oh, it's wide at the far post! It's Johnny Howson. It's an absolute jaw-dropping moment for Middlesbrough. There was the chance to take glory. That was nearly Roy of the Rovers stuff.
Just after I called him man of the match as well, that would have been the crowning moment. He was a free header and he glances it wide. Is that the chance? There've been plenty of chances. It could have been 4-4 Trev, the way this has gone. Honestly, if everyone hit the target, it'd be 4-4. You would have been quids in.
Maybe it's time to cash out. We'll wait and see, because at the moment this game's opened up, and Son, and the referee's kept his flag down. Here's Son Heung-min in the area at the moment for Tottenham Hotspur. He looks to play it across. Oh, it's a dreadful touch in the end, right in front of the area by Kulievski. Should have done a lot better. Little Ginger Ninja scuffed his lines. At that point, Lumley picks it up, and Antonio Conte just showing his frustration on the Spurs bench. The Spurs conundrum at the moment, brilliant against the top sides, really struggling at the moment against the lower end sides. And we have now entered the 90th minute of this contest. Middlesbrough 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. We've had chances. Best one's fallen to Icy Jones after an excellent run by Marcus Taverner, and it was a good save by Hugo Lloris. There was also a header wide by Johnny Howson that could have won the game for Middlesbrough. Is there one more opportunity? Will it be third time lucky for Middlesbrough? Might be the case. No, it won't, because a foul has been called. Jones here just leaning into Eric Dyer. And referee has said that is enough. And we'll wait to find out. Time added on. Let me know from time added on. Go and judge how long is left of this contest. So there's Balogun that had the best opportunity that any centre forward has had today. Waiting for the fourth official today, which is Craig Pawson. As to how much time is going on, I'm looking at the board now, and I can see it's a number between 1 and 10, and that's about all I can see. I'm very sorry for that. We'll wait and see. We'll enjoy the time on as it goes on. There's no line left to go. Long ball looking for Son, and Lumley, from a lovely little take in the air. He's a very decisive goalkeeper, Joe Lumley, and when he has committed himself, I'm sure his defenders have enjoyed that. Here is Isaiah Jones. The Riverside sent something tonight. Could it be something quite brilliant, or could it be something quite heartbreaking? Either way, it's looking set for 30 more minutes for us to find out today here on the commentary hub. This is Balogun. That's a poor touch under pressure from Emerson and Balogun in the end is able to knock the ball out. As I said, from my colleague, my great mate Chris, knocked out there. He's on loan from Chelsea, and a lot to prove if he's going to find his way back to West London.
Arsenal, sorry.
Arsenal, my apologies.
Careful, you'll get some very angry fan bases making that mistake.
I'm getting that confused with where I have to be tomorrow morning for the day job, sadly. So yes, I'm in Fulham Broadway outside Stamford Bridge tomorrow. But don't worry, not everything I do is completely glamorous. That is one of them.
Are you going to be running the charity thing that's supposed to be in charge of Chelsea now, or is that?
We'll move on. Icy Jones, as he asked a lot of himself, or he nearly backed himself to reach that. That was very, very unlucky there by St. Jones. He's grown into the contest, this young man. He's looking to run a great pace and cause people problems. But the way Antonio Conte set his side, he's not been allowed to run at defenders today, like the damage he did against the Manchester United back line, Chris.
Yeah, I think that's been pointed out by Conte as a major weapon in his arsenal. So it's very much been. This has been a game of isolating everyone's game plans, really. You know, keep Harry Kane quiet, keep his runs, to a minimum, and everyone's just cancelling each other out.
Son! Oh! Son's header! It was free at the far post. And in the end, it's an easy save for Lumley. And another opportunity to win the game goes begging. We really got a game now. I tell you what, 30 more minutes. Look forward to it, because I really think we can see something brilliant. Steven Bergwijn's made a real difference. There is the cross by Kulievski, and Son, he won't believe it. That was the opportunity to win the game. We'll continue on for a second before we get Chris's thoughts at the end of this contest. We are playing 2.5 minutes now of time added on. There is Crooks. This is a chance for Middlesbrough. Can they take it? No, because Sporar saw the glory. He saw the opportunity to be a hero. It was boys' hero stuff. It wasn't the case in the end. It's flashed wide. And I know most managers, Chris, will be thinking, and indeed they're going to have to think, because we've got extra time this evening now.
We have indeed. What do you do here? Do you stick or twist? Because the game's opening up just as we ran out of time. So it's still a couple of subs available to both managers, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with those. But this is going to be. I mean, Middlesbrough have been in this position once already in the tournament, so you'd kind of give them an edge in this scenario. But it's the FA Cup; anything can happen.
Indeed. Well, yeah, that's the halfway mark of this contest. We're heading towards extra time, Russ. It's 0-0 here at the Riverside.
Absolute goals there in the end of 90 minutes. We're going to be in for another 30 minutes of action here on the teams. The other will get the action coming through from Chris in a second. Well, Chris, I think looking at what's been happening in that first half and the second half as well, I think it has been a very, very. I think your prediction of goals just put a kibosh onto it this evening, as we just some of the big chances that Crooks' chance that could have been 1-0 to Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have caused quite a lot of the problems, and Reece has had to make some big saves. There's been some big misses as well. That one from Johnny Howson there. So big chances gone begging this evening. Should be leading by more than it should be goals in this, Chris. And Chris, would you reckon would be happier? I know both teams would have wanted shots on target, and neither team would be happy with extra time, you'd have to say. But looking at it from a neutral point of view, have you seen this game tonight?
Well, to be honest, the first sort of 75 minutes of it was just cancel each other out constantly, whereas the last sort of 15 minutes or so, it seemed like both teams seemed to go for it. They were just kind of cutting their losses and went for it, we probably had more goal-mouth action in the last 15 minutes than we did for the rest of it. So another half an hour of this, it should be a cracking affair. But nobody deserves to lose this game. I must point that out. This has very much been as immovable object versus unstoppable force kind of affair. It really has. So whoever wins is going to deserve to win, but unfortunately one of them is going to have to lose tonight, and I really couldn't tell you who that's going to be, because both teams have basically been missing easy chances. So if somebody's got to take that one chance, then we may have a winner in this one. But otherwise, this is going to go all the way to penalties, and as I said before, Middlesbrough have been in this position once before already this tournament, which might give them the edge. But obviously Tottenham are the Premier League side, so anything can happen.
Yes, that is true there, Chris. As the extra time is about to get underway, let's go back to your match commentary team of Chris Wyman and first Trevor Sports.
Trevor, you need to plug your microphone in, sir.
How do I do it twice into the start? Anyway. Well, I was about to say, we're all back and ready to go. Thankfully, it's only 17 seconds of extra time that you missed me for. What did you miss me do? Just letting you anything can happen in the next half hour. Like that! Oh! Kulieski's effort just flashing wide. And the referee, I think, is pulling back play for an early infringement. Let's have a look what this is for. But look at this by Kulieski, Chris. This was nearly the perfect start for extra time for Tottenham Hotspur.
We'll talk about jumping out the gates quickly. He wasn't wasting any time getting a shot off, was he? Goalkeeper did make a save. It's an excellent save, tipping it round the post. So good save from the goalkeeper. And first early sighter, less than 60 seconds into extra time. This should be a cracking affair.
Well, here we go. Thank you all for tuning in. At some point here, I'm going to go for my training on how to operate the mute button as I rejoin matches, but there we go. I just don't want to make sure you hear me grabbing a warm cup of coffee on a very cold evening at the moment. So, chance for Spurs. This is Kulieski on his left foot, curling the ball in. It's a firm header away at the moment for Spar, and it's back in towards Son. Oh, another chance for Spurs. Another chance for Son. He just can't find the back of the net. It's a steal a line from FIFA 99. He couldn't hit a cow's backside with a banjo at the moment.
It was a swing and all air shot, that one. He just completely got his judgment all wrong there with that one and completely missed the ball.
Well, the game has continued like it did in extra time. There's a chance in the header at the moment from Balogun, and just like it had in the last 5 minutes of the 90, it's end-to-end stuff now. We are seeing a great game, and if your team tonight hasn't quite had the result that you were hoping for at the moment, don't worry. Join us here on the Commentary Hub, because we might be able to entertain you with some entertaining football and entertaining second half. If you're a neutral tonight, I think you might enjoy the next 30 minutes, because extra time at the moment, if it's anything like the final 5 minutes, could be quite brilliant. If it's, Chris said, it's like the last 75, then go set yourself up for a penalty competition. But here today, though, it's already starting with 2 opportunities, and the goalkeepers, Chris, at long last earning their money this evening.
Yeah, well, they could have both read a book each in the 90 minutes that has already gone past. So yes, they're going to have to earn their living this in extra time, and certainly if it goes to penalties.
I wonder if any of them already read how to operate the mute button successfully whilst doing live commentary. We'll wait and see. Let's see if anyone has sussed that. There goes Kane, left-footed, high, loft-footed. It's a brilliant bit of control, it has to be said, at the moment, by Davis. Now here is Winks. Cross from Winks to Christian Romero. Holberg. Emerson. Bergwijn. Lovely little touch. Emerson. Chance for Kane. Can he find half a yard? Bergwijn is charging through. It's Steven Bergwijn again, and it's a brilliant little pass back in the end. Has to be said, all the way through to Joe Lumley. Now Spurs putting on a bit of pressure. Winks again. Finds Emerson in a bit of space. His cross is headed away first time by Dijkstool. Now it's a chance. Ben Davis' strike is over the bar. Another chance created for Tottenham Hotspur. It took a deflection. I suspect it's a Tottenham Hotspur corner.
Yes, I think it is. Just seeing some substitutes warming up on the sidelines, I would suspect changes are afoot. Can't quite tell who just yet, but we shall see shortly. As we've lost our timer and scoreboard again, haven't we?
Well, thankfully, the commentators set this up and we play 4 minutes of extra time at the moment. Here's Steven Bergwijn, 94th minute. Bergwijn's ball in, punched away by Lumley. Holberg puts it back into the mixer and the referee calls play back for a foul. And Kane in the end just throws it lackadaisically, rather accurately, back to Joe Lumley, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. And a change being made at the moment. In it, Sporar, his day is over at the moment for Middlesbrough. Coming on at the moment is Josh Colburn. He's coming on, so I love the effort by Andres Sporar. He's put in a real shift, but it's difficult when you've got 2 centre forwards and 3 centre halves to really make a difference. But young legs have come on in Josh Colburn to try and be able to change things. And at the same time as well, Mark Bowler looks to be coming on here for Middlesbrough, and he's going to be replacing Neil Taylor at left back. So a change being made, Neil Taylor coming off. Mark Bowler comes on. So Chris Wilder has made his changes. And there we go. The changes are set. Chris Wilder's made his moment. Did he make that potentially, Chris, with a penalty competition in mind, or does he play it to try and win the game, do you think?
Well, given that Tottenham have changed 2 of their wingers, obviously Sessegnon went off, and obviously he's responded with Neil Taylor. Just refreshing stuff on the wings, I think, to counteract what Tottenham have tried to do. So I think that's with that in mind. Whether it comes to penalties, I think he's fairly confident with his current crop of players because they've already shown it once. So he probably already knows what the order will be. So I think this is just a case of try and keep things as fresh as possible and counteract wherever Tottenham try to throw at them.
Pressure being put on at the moment by the Tottenham players to try and pass the ball out, and the pressure has worked at the moment because the ball has been given away. So Spurs will be frustrated. The fact that they've been put under pressure but they've lost possession. We've played 6 minutes of extra time here at the Riverside. Paddy McNair, just a slightly sort of short pass at the moment, and allowed Holberg to play the ball down the line. Kulieski opportunity to run at the moment against Paddy McNair for Tottenham Hotspur. Kulieski's ball across the middle. Kane let it run at the moment. It's come back to Son at the moment. Winks saw the run. He saw the run at the moment. And it was a terrible pass to be made. And it's allowed Isaiah Jones to run into space for the very first time today for Middlesbrough. Bullogan wanted it. He's unmarked in the area. Jones hasn't seen him. He's played the ball out to Dykestall. It's come all the way back to Marcus Taverner on the left foot. Now it's a chance for Bogle. It's a ball across into Mark Bowler, and in the end it's come to nothing. It has been cleared away. Goodness me, what an opportunity for Middlesbrough, and it's all gone Pete-tong at the final moment. Kulieski tried to play it away. Referee Darren England unmoved. The noise level's gone up again at the Riverside. They really sense here today that right in the northeast of England there is the opportunity to do something rather special to produce a real stunning upset at the moment. Yeah, Chris.
Well, it's just again, final ball. Balogun was wide open in that moment. Last second decision making. It's just that tiny fraction of a second between these two sides that's separating them when it comes to decision making. I will say one thing: Tottenham do have 1 sub remaining, so Antonio Conte does have 1 more roll of the dice available to him, I do believe. Obviously, he brought on Emerson Royal and Bergwijn, so he does have 1 more. He can look to his bench to see if he can change something. Whether any of those substitutes would make a difference, we shall see. But yeah, as I said earlier, with those subs, they refresh the wings, so therefore Chris Wilder brought on Bowler and Coburn as a counteract to that. So yeah, very tactical at this point.
There is Kane, ball out wide at the moment. Little pass inside. Ben Davies continue the run. Isaiah Jones across. And in the end, he wins possession back for Middlesbrough, hitting it against it. And Isaiah Jones's pace, he definitely has it in abundance. And we wonder if that's going to start to come into effect to Middlesbrough more as this period of extra time continues. We're in the 9th minute of it, and Paddy McNair at the moment is just down just for half a fraction. And referee Darren England just wanted to make sure he was okay. And I think McNair just said purely, mate, I was just adjusting the shots, nothing more. I'm good to keep going. I don't think any player at the moment will want to come off, and he's signalled to his bench repeatedly there. Thumbs up, he's absolutely fine. I suppose, Chris, the question you have to be asked is there a, the part of the professionals that decide to continue versus can you continue at 100%?
Well, that, or he's just wasting a bit of time, He could just be having a little breather. But yeah, sometimes you've got to be smart. They've used all their subs though, so in that position he's going, well, don't really want to go down to 10 men. So yeah, it's very much a case of thinking about it and probably a little bit of gamesmanship in that one.
Here's Housen. Oh, it's just cut out by Winks at the moment. Housen looked for the quality ball through the middle at the moment. Fry will bring it away at the moment for Middlesbrough. It's a pass out wide. This is Mark Bowler, number 27. He's got Bolligan running into the channel at the moment. Now, what does Bowler do? This is Bolligan again, number 47. It's a deep cross. It's just over the top of Matt Crooks that looked to be threatening. And that save at the moment by Hugo Lloris from Isaiah Jones in the last minute of the contest is starting to look more and more crucial at the moment, keeping Tottenham in the FA Cup. It was pretty routine. You'd expect a player of his quality to make it. Still had to make it, and that's the important thing. Housen to Crooks. Now it's a chance for Colburn, who is just caught and goes in the opposite direction. Son. This is Taverner, who has made perhaps the best run of the day. An opportunity that he created there for Isaiah Jones. Here he is now. This is Isaiah Jones. This is he. That's a clever little pass looking for Crooks. And it's back again to Crooks. There's a pass across the middle. It's Mark Bowler for Middlesbrough, left-footed. It's a poor effort across goal. It might fall to Colburn. The flag has stayed down at the moment. Isaiah Jones now all the way across into the channel, and then it's gone into the grateful hands of Hugo Lloris. Middlesbrough creating chances in the last few minutes of this contest. This extra time period has been far better than the preceding 90 minutes that preceded it, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know. Did these guys? I don't know what they had for their full-time drink, but they all seem to have an extra stride in their step. There's more energy levels in extra time than there has been in the full 90. I don't know where this has come from, but I think it might just be both teams showing caution to the winds, and quite frankly, I love it.
Well, if you are tuning in, and just to let you know, with recent events available, that if you are wanting to continue this match and you're listening to us online and you're watching it visually, you will need to go ahead and move over to BBC Two to watch it. There will be the BBC News continuing, and with events going on, you understand why that needs to go ahead and take priority, and so it should. Us here on the TC Hub, we will stay with the football and we will be watching everything that takes place as we join through. At the moment, it's 0-0. We've played 12 minutes at the moment of extra time, and there could be the process of 15 minutes more to do after the break, and then potentially a penalty competition to settle it, unless Isaiah Jones can do anything about it. He's looked lively in extra time. Crooks, back to Jones again. Middlesbrough got full forward at the moment. For a second there, it was 4-on-2. Ball across to Marcus Taverner. Mark Bowler is 3. Taverner, does he fancy a go on goal? It's Matt Crook fancy a go on goal. He doesn't. It's come back to Jones. It's poor. It's away. It's come back again to Housen! And he flashes it over the bar. The Middlesbrough captain, John Housen, with another chance. Middlesbrough yet creating more havoc at the moment inside the Tottenham Hotspur area. And they're desperately unlucky yet again.
Well, the way this is going, Middlesbrough are just creating chance after chance after chance. You think that they will score the next one, but it's just... they're just not hitting the target, and until you hit the target, you're not going to score.
Oh, this is quite incredible at the moment. This really is a game which is just getting better and better the further and further we get into the contest. And it's Middlesbrough looking stronger again. This is Mark Bowler. It's a clever little pass into Marcus Taverner. Cross to the far post. Ben Davies has got it away. Only as far as Isaiah Jones. There's 2 in the area. Crossing it across. Taverner! It's a good save. It's Bowler again. It's the area. Crooks hacks it, levels it over the bar. Another chance goes. Another opportunity for Middlesbrough. They're trying to get to the 6th round. Hugo Lloris, the French captain of Spurs, is denying them that opportunity.
Well, it's just... agonising at this point if you're a Middlesbrough fan. You are knocking on the door, but Spurs just are not letting you in. It's just agonising.
Say that was off balance. Hugo Lloris gets his tie up and is able to parry the ball away. And then the chance for Crooks, who flashes it over the bar. Marcus Taverner, who has worked his socks off tonight. Would have hoped that there could have been opportunity. And you wonder here today, have Middlesbrough played their ace in the hole a little bit early? Have they gone perhaps a little too early in extra time? One wonders, because they've certainly had the better of it at the moment. It's Hugo Lloris and the Spurs defence that have been much busier. Drykstall, lovely little flick at the moment. Isaiah Jones, Drykstall again. There's an opportunity to find Colburn in the middle. He couldn't. Is this going to go for a corner? It is. The fans roar at Middlesbrough at the moment. We've got 30 seconds left of time to play in the first half of extra time. Middlesbrough, of course, spurred all sorts of problems from corners in this contest. The crowd is buzzing. Do they sense a magical moment here in the Borough? Marcus Taverner's coming over to take this corner, left-footed, I suspect, swinging in. There at the moment standing, you can see him, number 37 is Josh Colburn, who's right on top of the goalkeeper. Taverner's set. Chris Wilder, the manager, just ready. Is this Middlesbrough's moment to take the lead and get us the first goal in the contest? Darren England just having a word again in the area. But I'll tell you what, Colburn has not moved. He's standing on Hugo Lloris at the moment. Taverner puts his hand up, standing by. Corner. It's swung in, and it's easy for Lloris, who needed to grab that. We've got a minute of time added on an extra time. And now it's an opportunity for Tottenham Hotspur. We're an opportunity to break at the moment. No, it won't be. It's a brilliant challenge. A foul, though, has been called. My instinct was great challenge by Isaiah Jones. Emerson had charged forward and shown too much of it.
He's called it as a throw.
It's a throw in. I was correct. I just got the next part of the game completely wrong. We'll go. It's 15 seconds to go of this first period of extra time. And what a half of football we have seen. Bergwijn. And now it's a chance for Kulievski. Left-footed. He's going to use his right. Oh! What a stop that was! There was Son. He went ahead and tried to backhand it. It got under Joe Lumley, who caught it almost as it was right past him. That's the final action in the first half of extra time, Chris. What a stunning way for this game to finish halfway through extra time. How lucky is that?
Well, how has he stopped this? That is, he's literally halted it on the ground with his wrist. Son with a cheeky back heel as the ball's crossed in between the goalkeeper Lumley's legs, and he's basically caught it with the hand that he's putting down to break his fall, pretty much to stop it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not gone in. We still have no goals. This 15 minutes has been absolutely mental in terms of the attacking intent from both sides, and it's just, how have we not had a goal yet? Is the question. Answers on a postcard, please.
It has been so far a game which has promised to be a great occasion. It's starting to deliver now. Russ, we've got a hell of a cut tie in these last 15 minutes.
We have indeed, Trevor. We have indeed, my friend. And 15 minutes more to see if either of these sides can be separated. Neither side can be separated as things stand. Chris, as it stands there, my friend, do you reckon it's going to go to penalties?
I mean, somebody's got to score one of these chances, though. Surely, there's surely no way that this. I mean, I don't know. This could definitely go the distance, but you would think the amount of chances that are being created at the minute, someone has to score. It just, there's too many being created, too many close calls that somebody. If this finishes 0-0 and we go all the way to penalties, it's just there will be an injustice to one of these teams either way. So, yeah, it's tough to call.
Absolutely tough to call. Indeed, we're getting ready to go back underway very shortly. We'll see Lee Peltier getting ready to come on for Middlesbrough. Tottenham just getting some final instructions. There the final 15 minutes from Antonio Conte as well. So with 15 more minutes left to play in this cup tie, who's going to go through in the next 15 minutes? Will we see a winner, or will this go all the way to penalties? Let's hand you back across to the commentary team of Chris Wyman and first Trevor Sports for the final 15 minutes.
Dejan Kulievski has come off and Sergio Reguilon has come on. So Kulievski's day is over. We've played 15 minutes of extra time. It's been a game at the moment which really has come to life in the last 15 minutes, and there's been chance after chance after chance for Middlesbrough. They've not been able to take them, but I really suspect at the moment that Middlesbrough are fancying their chances as this game goes on.
Of course, extra time brings extra substitution allowed for either side as well, if I remember correctly. So I believe Middlesbrough are exercising that rule.
Yeah, Paddy McNair, his evening is over. Lee Peltier has come on. So there is a change made in Middlesbrough. Obviously, Paddy McNair signalling that he was slightly hurt in that first period of extra time and has decided to do the sensible thing, I suspect, and admit it. There has always been a moment of where you want to play, but sometimes your legs and your body is not quite there, and in that situation, you lay yourself open. And these players at the moment are at such a level of physical fitness, they can still continue to run in extra time. For Spurs at the moment, Stephen Bergwijn has made a difference since he's joined, but as yet has been unable to make the key moments that have turned the game around. And that ball's gone out in favour of Middlesbrough throw-in. We're 27 seconds into the second period of extra time, and there's not been a shot at goal, Chris. This is practically tame.
Yeah, well, you would think, I mean, yeah, it's tame, but obviously 30 seconds in. But I think you would like to think that both teams might just take a couple of minutes just to slow down, catch your breath. You don't want to get any injuries at this point. And whether you consolidate for penalties, that really is, what do? Do you go for it, or do you try and shut up shop, just take it to penalties and hope for luck of the draw with that one? It's really anyone's guess.
We'll wait and see. There's Johnny Howson playing it into the channel. Isaiah Jones is wanting it. He's got it now. Clever little pass. Colburn. Crooks now. Chance back. This is Colburn! He's done it! There is the breakthrough for Middlesbrough! What a substitution by Chris Wilder! We've waited 1 minute and 15 seconds into extra time. The Borough lead the Spurs in extra time. Amazing! It's been threatening to happen for so long, and as always here on the commentary hub, once again, we have an upset on the cards. It's Middlesbrough 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Well, in threat of sounding like The Rock, finally we have a goal. After all of those efforts, we finally have a goal. And, well, I was just going to say, let's calm down, lads. Let's slow down a bit. Keep your energy. No, forget about that. Scored in the first 60 seconds of the second half of extra time. And what a finish it was. Questions of offside. Number 47 was kind of running across him, but he didn't touch the ball. Not considered active because went to the goal scorer. And the finish is absolutely excellent. Lots of power on it. Lloris does get a little bit of a fingertip on it, but he can't quite stop it. In fact, he doesn't get a fingertip on it at all. That rifled past him like a rocket. It's fresh legs off the bench, absolutely rifling that one home. And Middlesbrough, say it quietly, they're 13 minutes away from the quarterfinals.
Middlesbrough lead in extra time. Another Premier League side, another opportunity to produce an upset. Up steps Josh Colburn. Said thank you very much. I'll give you that upset. It's now going to be a nervy 13 minutes at the moment for Middlesbrough. And Son that's found his way through. He's on his left foot. It's another save by Lumley. The clear by Drysdale. It's a good one. Howson. Can he pass it away clearly? Another chance for Son. It's not been his today, the South Korean. There is the pass forward. Looking for Colburn again. I think he'll have the freedom of the city today. If Spurs are knocked out to his goal, and it has been coming, you have to say Middlesbrough deserve it. They have made far more chances, particularly since this period of extra time, and the Riverside is rocking like I have seldom heard it before. Ben Davis, this is going to be a tense few minutes for them to survive. Reguilon, back again. Ben Davis, cut out by Drysdale, but he's not dealt with it correctly at the moment. Holberg crosses it in towards Kane. Lumley gets it away, and brilliant at the second attempt, is able to parry it away. Brilliant, and he stands right up to Emerson. Lumley here showing a bit of absolutely fabulous goalkeeping, bravery when required.
Well, Lumley, he looked like a foul on the first gather, which is, I think, what he's not happy about. Although the second one was probably the one that he's complaining about. He got to it both times. Excellent goalkeeping either way. Let's just look at the replay here. So Kane kind of barges into him in mid-flight, still manages to gather it the second. Oh, I think that's the second one that he's particularly unhappy about. That was a very close encounter with, I think it was Bergwijn studs. But either way, he's made 2 excellent saves there.
Well, you were talking about this game being a slow starter for 75 minutes. It was probably the case. Started to pick up pace with 5 minutes to go at the end. Right now, we have got a rip-snorting barn burner of an FA Cup 5th round tie. And it's what the FA Cup is all about, because the lower league side is leading the Premier League side. The noise is absolutely brilliant inside the Riverside. The Middlesbrough fans are jumping for joy and are giving their fans every inch of positivity they need. And their players are going to need this, because for the next 10 minutes, Spurs are going to try to throw everything at them. The problem is at the moment for Antonio Conte is frustration. You can beat Manchester City, but not able to beat Middlesbrough at the moment. That's what's standing. Here's Son trying to find a bit of room on the edge of the area. Dreistel was across, tries to pass it away, wins the foul, an important foul again, and it's Middlesbrough again that comes forwards. And well, that's our first goal that we've seen in extra time in the TC Hub for a while, I do say so. And it's come at a very important time for the Borough. Yeah, look at that face from Antonio Conte. He looks like a man who looks very frustrated by the way his side has played in the last 20 minutes or so, Chris.
Well, it was a kind of very veiled suggestion of resignation when they lost to Burnley the other week. I don't know what this kind of loss would do to his mental attitude towards this position, because, I mean, you hinted at it at the start of the game, whether he regrets taking the Spurs job. This defeat will be very damaging for himself and Spurs, because there won't be a lot left on the table for them at this point if this carries on.
Well, it has been a game at the moment that has threatened to completely spring into life. It hasn't done so, but yet in the last few minutes this has been a great watch, and it could get even better. This is Balogun, little dancing feet on the edge of the area, all the way back to Isaiah Jones for Middlesbrough. And this is just what Middlesbrough wants. They want possession of the football. They want it comfortably inside Tottenham Hotspur half. Harry Kane having to run, and how he doesn't quite get on with extra time in major games for club and country at the moment. Not progressing recently since the penalty competition against Colombia back in 2018. Can Harry Kane turn that tonight? Who hasn't, in all sense, had a very good game, although he did have a goal ruled off correctly there for a foul. This is Christian Romero.
The stadium is absolutely rocking.
Oh, it's wonderful atmosphere, folks. I really wish you were here to enjoy this with us. It's been brilliant at the moment. Pass forward looking for Son. Lumley will take his time and will claim it and get all the support in the world from the Middlesbrough players. It has been, for them, one side that has really stepped things up in extra time and have done everything they can to try and win the game. And a change being made here with Dean Scarlett looking to come on for Tottenham Hotspur. So a change with Antonio Conte. Dean Scarlett isn't a regular starter for them. You may not have heard of him. He's certainly not the son of captain Scarlett, that is. We shall wait and see. Now, here is a chance at the moment for Balogun. Showing good touch at the moment. Crooks works tirelessly. Isaiah Jones. Dreistel, who's had an excellent game. Housen, perhaps a choice for player in the match potentially, really has worked tirelessly in the Middlesbrough skipper today. Here is Fry. And for Middlesbrough, this is what they want. The ball at their feet as Spurs look to chase the game. Crooks, Jones, Dreistel again moving it forward, trying to run into space, and he does so, and he loses it. And now Son can break at the moment for Tottenham Hotspur. He's got Kane ahead of him. It's an excellent challenge by Crooks. Brilliant football being played by the men in reds. Fantastic. Here's Jones to Dreistel. Right behind him at the moment was Romero. Ben Davis. Now at the moment is Holberg. Pass inside to Bergwijn. Kane looking to try and get there, and he will chase Lumley, who just time his half volley, as I should say, knocks it all the way to Colburn. And Colburn looking to try and put the pressure at the moment on Emerson. No foul given. Emerson takes it away for Spurs. 6 minutes to go of this contest. Middlesbrough 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Live unofficial commentary on the commentary hub What a game we are seeing. What a magnificent contest this has been at the moment. Here's Bergwijn. Spurs need a goal to force a penalty competition. Bergwijn, can he force a cross? No, he can't. It's more good defending from who else? Johnny Howson, who just plays it away and knocks the ball into the Tottenham Hotspur half. Was one of the technical players, coaches in the Spurs area, runs through it, and the change is made. It is Ben Davies who has come off at the moment for Dean Scarlett, who has come on, and we have 5 minutes to go, Chris. The question is, can you see Middlesbrough hanging on in this contest?
Oh, don't ask me a question like that with 5 minutes to go. That's threatening of a jinx. All I can say is Middlesbrough have not taken the foot off the gas since they scored. So they could quite easily get a second if they're not if they keep going for it. But obviously, if they're not careful and give the ball away silly, then it could leave them open. But it's as you can see, Crooks is still on the forward. Antonio Conte looking like a man broken on the sideline there. Not very happy at all.
Life in North London has been rather inconsistent to him. You see, many men have tried to turn Tottenham Hotspur around. Close as you probably say in recent years. At the moment, he looks like Jose Mourinho was unable to do so, and it's been the impossible job, Tottenham Hotspur. And you try and look at who's been able to have real success with them. Because it's looking like their one chance of winning silverware's fallen, and it's Josh Colburn that has got the goal today.
I think Sol Bamba is going to come on in a minute. It's probably to replace Crooks. It does look like that Crooks' day is over.
Well, Crooks has worked his socks off tonight, and you understand if there is to be a change and him to be brought off, and Sol Bamba, with everything that he's been through and the horrible house gears, to see him back as well is always great for football. There he is, getting warmed up, getting his shin pad set and getting ready. The Middlesbrough bench know they're on the verge of something special, but this is going to need to time added on. Not on yet at the moment. The referee, fourth official, Craig Pawson, is getting set for the substitution. Spurs know at the moment if they could go ahead and force an opportunity, this could be it. Dyer, pass goes out wide to Emerson. Dyer now playing as a midfielder for Spurs and marching forwards. Now it's opportunity for Dean Scarlett. Can he try and find the cross in? He can't. And now it's a chance for Balogun for Middlesbrough. The pass is down the line at the moment, and he was just hoping the ball would snake off the pitch, and a chance for Colburn. It wasn't the case at the moment. Middlesbrough lead 1-0. And incredibly, would you believe this? The change is being made. It is Crooks. You were right, Chris. That's why you get it. What it is.
Crooks.
It is indeed. Sol Bamba is coming on.
It's not Crooks. It's not Crooks. They wanted someone else.
Matt Crooks is walking off. He's holding his hands up. He's getting a standing ovation from the Riverside. He's not, He's not. Yeah. He's been marched away.
So Sol Bamba was pointing. It's not Crooks. It's not Crooks. It's someone else. I think the graphics people have got that one wrong. It's Johnny Howson. That's a bold move. Take your best player and captain off for the last 3 minutes.
Well, dare you say, do you take your best player off? Look at the fact that if there recites you to those moments where you wonder why did we make that change. The 1999 Champions League final, Mario Basler, Lothar Matthäus come off. Manchester United win the European Cup. Omar Hitzfeld admitted that had he kept them on, the game might have changed. Is this going to be enough time though for Spurs to find an equaliser? If they do, it'll be a penalty competition. We've got just about 90 seconds of extra time left. In fact, we've got that 90 seconds now. Ball over the top. The header is away first time. Bergwijn keeps it alive for Spurs. Pretty much attack versus defence at the moment. Winks. Now it's a pass inside for Reguilon. Trying to look for the run inside the channel. That's good work being made at the moment by Son, who's run tirelessly. He's had chances, hasn't taken them. Fry again, good defending. Reguilon again. Now it is Winks. Spurs are pretty much keeping 5 players launched across the Middlesbrough defensive area at the moment. Miro, Emerson, Scarlett ahead of him. Inside the channel towards Dyer. Dyer's ball! Oh, brilliantly cut out in the end. Great defending that from Sol Bamba. Had to make that challenge, and he did.
Doing his job, done what he's come on to do.
Fabulous work. Son's corner at the moment now from Middlesbrough standby. Do they have to go and spot the Tottenham Hotspur keeper? Reece is staying back. 30 seconds of extra time left to go. It's Son's corner. It's a mess. It's a great save in the near post from Lumley. Oh, that was stunning. Great reactions from a goalkeeper who has stood up to the mark. It was Eric Dyer's header at the near post. It took a horrible deflection. Great keeping.
It came off Crooks of all people as well. Look at that. Imagine. That would have been quite something.
We have played 30 minutes. We have 3 minutes of extra time. Spurs, to force the penalty competition, are putting all the pressure on. It is Son to take the corner, to float it in. It's headed away, just about. Reguilon needs to get that. He won't. It'll be cleared away. It'll be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. While Chris Boulder, the Middlesbrough manager, is making everybody to stay on the ball. This is going to be a long 2.5 minutes left now at the moment. Spurs trying to find an equaliser. Goes long forward towards Kane. This is the chance. It's a good header away. And Ramirez not get it. Now at the moment it's Crooks. There's an opportunity to break at the moment. Crooks with a ball through the middle at the moment. This is Balogun. Coburn is there through the middle. Balogun is trying to find a shot. And it goes wide. And that was nearly the opportunity for Middlesbrough to seal a famous win against Tottenham Hotspur and just go ahead and relieve all their anxiety this evening. But as things stand, it's just a fraction past the goal scorer Colburn, and it's still 1-0.
Well, that was a Gascoigne, I don't believe it, agonisingly close moment that was.
Would you believe this? Would you believe it? It has been, to be fair, a poor 90 minutes, but one of the most exciting periods of extra time since perhaps that extra time period in the European Championship semi-final of 1996. It really has been that exciting in this period of extra time. But at the moment, it is Middlesbrough that are heading through. It is Spurs that are heading out. Throw-in is given. Ramiro with the throw. Time running out for Tottenham Hotspur. 1 minute and 10 left of the contest. Kane. Dyer. Oh, excellent from Marcus Taverner to come in. And his clearance just goes forward. Colburn is onside. The rain started from his own half. Past Lloris. Was that a hand? Was that a hand used? No, says the referee. Lloris plays it long, and it's going to be completely harmless because Lumley's going to take all the time in the world to claim this. He does do so. It's gamesmanship, but it's absolute brilliance. But I tell you what, it's the FA Cup showing its magical best at the moment. Middlesbrough leads. They're on the verge of knocking out another Premier League Cup and a 6th round tie available for them. They're a game after this away from Wembley. They've got about 30 seconds or so of time added on. It depends how much time Darren England will allow for any sort of stoppages and time wasting. Spurs have got to get it and kick it forward if they're going to win this contest. They'll wait and see. Crooks again, who has run his socks off today. Reguilon, Drysdale loses it. The ball goes forward. It's headed back across. It's cleared again. Middlesbrough looking to hold on. There's Isaiah Jones, and the most magical night at the Riverside for many a year has happened in extra time. On came Josh Colburn, the substitute, to put Middlesbrough in the 5th round of the FA Cup. For Tottenham Hotspur, it's not to be. It's just not their day. For Middlesbrough, it just doesn't matter. After 30 minutes of one of the best 30 minutes you will see here in the FA Cup, and the Riverside is jumping for joy, and you understand why. It's one of the most magical nights that they have seen for many, many a year. The Spurs, they've been knocked down a peg or two by the brilliance of Borough. Full time here at the Riverside. It is Middlesbrough 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 after extra time, Russ.
What a game of football we have just witnessed. Middlesbrough have knocked out yet another Premier League side in the FA Cup, with Middlesbrough knocking out Tottenham Hotspur. Antonio Conte's Tottenham will not win a trophy this season as Middlesbrough's reign in the FA Cup marches on. Middlesbrough's 170th minute winner from Josh Coburn was enough to see them progress in the FA Cup. Let's see what's progressed then in the FA Cup and what other results have happened this evening. In the Premier League, it's finished Burnley 0, Leicester City 2. Sorry to JB, Paul and CW for reminding me of that result. In the FA Cup 5th round, it's finished Peterborough 0, Man City 2. Crystal Palace 2, Stoke City 1. As you've just heard, Middlesbrough 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0 after extra time. In the Championship, Cardiff City 1, Derby County 0. In League 1, Portsmouth 3, Oxford 2. Sheffield Wednesday 5, Burton Albion 2. Shrewsbury Town 0, Rotherham United 0. Wigan Athletic 2, Fleetwood Town 0. Wycombe Wanderers 3, Cambridge United 0. League 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Barrow 0. Carlisle United 2, Rochdale 0. Colchester 2, Leyton Orient 2. Crawley Town 2, Oldham Athletic 2. Harrogate Town 1, Port Vale 1. Newport County 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Northampton Town 1, Walsall 1. National League, Chesterfield 3, Notts County 1. Edinburgh Redbridge 3, Maidenhead United 0. Wrexham 2, Kings Lane Town 0. National League North, AFC Fylde 0, York City 2. AFC Telford 2, Curzon Ashton 1. In the National League South, Braintree Town 1, Slough Town 0. In the Scottish Championship, Arbroath 1, Partick Thistle 1. Scottish League 1, Queen's Park 2, Peterhead 1. In the Scottish Challenge Cup semi-finals, Cove Rangers 0, Queen of the South 1. In the Lowland League, Honeywell Rose 5, Cumberland Moor Colts 0. In the Irish Premiership, Coleraine 1, Lawn 1. German DFB Cup, FC Union Berlin 2, FC St. Pauli 1. In the Italian Coppa Italia, in the class of the Milanos, AC 0, Internazionale 0. In the French Coupe de France, Nice 2, Versailles 0. In the Australian A-League, Western Sydney Wanderers vs Wellington Phoenix, match postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. And then the Swiss Super League, Servette 1, Young Boys 0 is the other results. And another result to tell you from Leigh Sports Village, after the 2-2 draw this evening between Manchester United under-19s and Borussia Dortmund under-19s, Borussia Dortmund under-19s have won 3-1 on penalties this evening. We'll get the thoughts of Chris in a moment to let everyone know his final thoughts on the game there. So Chris Wyman, your co-commentator this evening, what a fantastic game, Chris. Trevor said it was boring for 90 minutes, but the extra 30 minutes was what you like to see. And another cup upset here on the TC Hub, and Middlesbrough march on in the FA Cup. What a fantastic fairy tale for them, knocking out Man United in the last round, now knocked out Antonio Conte and Tottenham in the 5th round, Chris.
Yeah, it's kind of it was an incredible extra time. I don't know what happened for the first sort of 75 minutes of the entire encounter was, but that was probably the most exciting extra time I've watched in a long time, where for some reason normally you see the energy levels drop for extra time, whereas this one it seemed to just go up another notch for everyone. And both teams went hell for leather, but both teams could have won this match, let's be honest. It could have quite easily gone the other way. If people had taken their chances, Tottenham may well have gone through. It could have quite easily been 4-4, the amount of chances there were. But for Middlesbrough, obviously already knocked out Manchester United, now they've knocked out Tottenham. They will not fear anyone. They could probably get Manchester City next and be confident going into that match. And obviously the way Peterborough played against City today would give them confidence anyway. But Borough played superbly. Chris Wilder's attacking mentality and attitude, and the way he set the team up, that they just pestered, smothered. They didn't let Tottenham remotely play the game that they normally do. forced them into playing long balls and having isolated chances, and they wanted it just that little bit more than Spurs did, I think. And as for Spurs, well, their issue being an unhappy Antonio Conte. It's another season without a trophy. It's gonna be awkward in that boardroom tomorrow, I think, and whatever happens, who knows? But for Middlesbrough today, this is becoming a historic FA Cup run for them, one that they will remember for a long time, and it could go on and on. They are one match away from a semi-final at Wembley.
Yes, absolutely, Chris, absolutely. And you've got to take your hats off there to Chris Wilder for the way he has defended it how they defended very, very well and resolutely, kept out. I know Kane had a disallowed goal, but kept him quiet for the majority of the game, kept Son quiet for the majority of the game. And when Chris Wilder looks back at this performance of the tomorrow, he'll notice how they've nullified Kane, nullified Son, who were two big threats, and they're now the all-time combination goal for goals and assists in the Premier League, overtaking Didier Drogba and Fran Lampard this season with his goals and assists from the weekend. But the two of the big name players in the Premier League kept quiet till the Riverside signing, and when Chris Wilder looks back at that, he must be very, very delighted that they managed to keep two of the best players very, very quiet.
Well, they had a game plan, didn't they? And when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur, if you keep Kane quiet, it's going to be a difficult day for them. If you also keep Son quiet, very rarely are Tottenham going to be able to score a goal, let alone enough to win the game. So he clearly had a game plan. They executed it perfectly. He changed it up when he needed to, which obviously was shown for the last 5 minutes when they put on Sol Bamba just to shore things up at the back, and Sol Bamba immediately got stuck in, getting a vital interception that forced a corner instead of it going across the 6-yard box. So Chris Wilder's game management has always been fairly good when it comes to his teams. It's shown throughout his managerial career with Northampton and Sheffield United, and now he's really starting to stamp his authority on Middlesbrough. It's very much becoming a Chris Wilder side. But yeah, he's done a superb job, and keeping Kane and Son quiet basically nullified any kind of threat that Tottenham had for them. So he had a game plan, they executed it perfectly, and it's shown the result. And the fact that after scoring one, they could have quite easily shut up shop there and stopped attacking and just park the bus completely. They kept going for a second. Eventually it did resort to parking the bus, but they were relentless today, and they ground Tottenham down. They mentally broke them down. It's just kind of like, no matter what you do, we are still going to keep attacking you regardless. And I think that they just eventually wore Tottenham down, and in the end, they fought their way through and got that vital goal in the end.
They did, Chris, indeed. They did indeed, my friend. And the question which has come through from Paul James says, Paul Antonio Conte, what next for him? And I'll supposedly ask you that question. Chris, if you're the Tottenham manager right now, just knocked out of the last cup competition which you can win for this season, it looks like they won't win the Premier League now. It looks like Manchester City have probably got that sewn up, or if Liverpool continue to do well in the goal, Liverpool to play Manchester City, one of those two teams they're going to win the Premier League this season. So it looks like no cups for Tottenham. If you're Antonio Conte, you came in to win a trophy this season after the failure of Nuno's start at Tottenham this season. If you're Antonio Conte, would you say any resignation now and say that's me done, or would you stick around and try and go again next season with and put your own stamp on things from the summer going up forwards? Chris, what would you do if you was in Antonio Conte's shoes, and what do you think will be next for the Tottenham boss?
It's difficult for Conte because he's come into a season where he wasn't in charge in the first place. Obviously, it was a team starting to be built around Nuno. You've got this Harry Kane saga that has been hanging over Tottenham for the last couple of windows, and particularly, obviously, the one that just came before, where he was basically nailed on to go to City, but Daniel Levy just basically refused, which obviously has led to this meandering kind of Kane sort of form. So he's had the January window where Tottenham have not really done anything. So Conte will probably be going into the boardroom tomorrow going, right, you either need to back me in this window or I'm off, which I think is probably what he'll do. But part of me feels like he may walk before the end of the season, because I get the feeling that Daniel Levy is going to say this side is good enough to finish top 4, I don't need to put any more into it. You've still got Harry Kane, who they have managed to keep hold of, despite the best efforts of some of the richest clubs in the world trying to get him. This is going to cause all kinds of problems, because Harry Kane is going to be finishing another season without a trophy, so he's going to be sitting there going, well, you should have let me go, because now I'm missing out. Conte is going to be going, I need the money to rebuild the side, so you're going to have the question there of, is one tied to the other? Does Conte go, I need money to rebuild the side, which then goes, okay, we'll sell Kane, then you can have the money. It brings up all sorts of questions for Tottenham, let alone just Conte's future in itself. He might be, if he doesn't get the answers he wants from League, he will probably walk. Because it's been shown in the past that the Tottenham job is a very challenging one when it comes to finances. And they're very much in a similar position to Arsenal, dare I say it, from when they first moved to the Emirates. They've got a big stadium to pay for. It's going to make the transfer market a bit more challenging for them over the next 3 or 4 years. So it's going to be very tricky. And I can see Conte walking, quite frankly. Whether it's tomorrow or whether it's the end of the season, depends what kind of discussions he has. But the manager's job and Harry Kane's position, two very big points that will be sort of rumbling on to the end of the season now. I dare say it will be the main discussion about Tottenham now.
Absolutely indeed. Thank you very much for your stellar work tonight, Chris, alongside Trevor, being on for over almost 3 hours since we first started this broadcast. 2 hours 50, so 10 minutes away from being on air for 3 hours. So big thank you to everyone that's tuned in tonight. And we'll be back with you tomorrow with some more FA Cup action. We'll be bringing Southampton against West Ham. We'll have Liverpool v Norwich updates as well. So make sure you stay around and stay tuned for that. From myself, from Chris, and from Trevor, and from everybody else here at the Country. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you very, very soon. From all the team here, good night.